Ahoy! This is Harry Hansen reminding you to like and subscribe to the show on YouTube by going to youtube.com at the Lager Room 5111 and clicking subscribe. Or just go to youtube.com and search for the Lager Room. Either way, it's as easy as falling off a log. Thanks a bundle.
Jimmy Jungle, well, true to a dribble. But now you're going to slobber and you're crying in the middle of a goblet. Benihana. Hatchy, hooky, boogie, mozzarella, itchy poo. Bleeding around the collar, heavy petting of the shoe. You're eating cool lasagna on Wonderama with Madonna. Baklava.
All right, everybody, welcome to the Get On With It Sports Show. It is Wednesday, December the 10th, 2025. Jersey Johnny coming at you with me. As always, is none of them, Mr. Radio Pete and Mr. Harry Lug Nutz. How are you two gents on this fine December evening?
You know, could be better, could be worse. As a Yankees fan, it's not that bad yet.
Yeah, well, bite me.
Yeah. I will just say that that opening there for sports we will not be talking about tonight.
No.
That was a bit misleading.
Yeah.
No archery, no gymnastics, no swimming. Oh, well, we'll talk a little hockey, I guess.
A little
I
hockey.
thought you were going to say, well, we'll talk a little swimming.
We'll talk a little swimming.
We're not talking.
Yeah, it's a few things going on.
Yeah.
I mean, but I don't think we have time between the under 17 South American girls soccer championship and the World Cup draw that's been all laid out, you know, and college basketball.
That's right.
We got a lot of stuff.
And don't forget the pickleball tournament.
Pickleball tournament. Two must go. 6 got to stay.
Yeah, we got to do
a quickie. Just a quickie.
Just a long. We have just a longie tonight.
Just a quickie and just 2 quickies.
And you know, now that the baseball winter meetings have started, and
is that what you're calling them?
And this will now be the 12 minutes of Jersey Johnny ranting.
I know. When we get into it, we'll get into it. But I got a holiday question for you both.
A holiday question. See, there's always something else.
Just one. It's not a meme. Don't worry.
Good.
We're not going there. All right.
Finally fucking killed that.
You know it. You love it. But
it'll be back.
We had to kill it.
It'll make a guest appearance.
It'll make a guest appearance here and there. But my holiday question is this, and it's music related. I have to ask you, of all of the Christmas songs out there, or we'll open it up, all the holiday songs out there. All right. Which one has the best bass line? I have an opinion. That's why I want yours.
You know that what is it? Feed the World song with Phil Collins and John Taylor. Not a bad groove. Okay. Merry Christmas by what's that? The Waitresses. Pretty good.
It's Christmas Rapping is the name of the song.
Yeah.
And that's where I was going with that. That bass line is just it moves the whole except for the chorus.
Those two, I think, would be my choice.
Yeah,
Unless there's some obscure Dead Kennedys Christmas song that I don't know about.
Probably. Oh, how about Bryan Adams' Reggae Christmas?
No.
Reggae?
No, I'm gonna choose a couple of horrible ones here.
Yeah. Bryan Adams and reggae should never be mentioned in the same sentence.
There's a couple of great songs that I really like, but I don't know if they have great bass lines. Like what's the one by the Kinks? Father Christmas, give us the money.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's a great bass line.
Well,
but I don't usually I don't really know how it goes. So
don't forget Christmas in Hollis by Run DMC.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah,
is that a real bass? I mean, I guess
I don't think so, but
probably
not.
Maybe back in that time.
I think it was. That was way back.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go with that one. Why not?
All right, fair enough. All right, cool. All right, very nice. And to get us talking about sports, did you hear the announcement today? And it'll get us into baseball, but
they lowered interest rates.
Yeah, that'll get us talking about sports.
Thank God now all those pro athletes can borrow money at a lower rate.
Exactly.
Good for
Save
them.
themselves a couple of bucks.
Yeah.
No, the announcement on it's in New York area, obviously. But they have been watched around the country on or listened to, I should say, on the Odyssey app, which we are on as well, the Odyssey app. And that's WFAN. They have a new lineup. Salicata and Brendan Tierney are gone. This is as of January 5th. Okay. So the first Monday in January.
So they're gonna make them go on the air for the next 3 weeks and do a 3-week swan song.
Right.
Yeah.
So they're Brendan Tierney and Salicata are gone from the midday show. Evan Roberts and Tiki Barber are moving from the 2 to 6:30 slot back to the midday show. They're doing 10 to 2.
Yeah.
All right. And Craig Carton is coming back.
That I knew about.
To the fan.
Who listens to the radio?
Along with C-Mac, Chris McMonagle.
I mean, is there anybody under the age of 70 that listens to the radio, or 60 maybe?
I listen to radio. So
I mean, I'm not saying you don't listen to those programs, but don't you just listen to them whenever you want on, Well, I mean, I can, but I generally don't. I generally listen to them, on. You generally like to drive Jess crazy by listening to the fan while you're driving around.
Pretty much. Well, I very rarely get to,
yeah,
listen to the fan while I'm in the car with her.
Yeah,
but,
I'm joking.
I know.
I to be honest, I have found WFAN intolerable for the
last time I listened to it, Mike and the Mad Dog were still on. Is Boomer Esiason still on?
Yeah, Boomer is doing the morning show.
Is it me, or does he need
Greg
a throat operation? It sounds like he's got.
He does.
Tiki Barber
that's
in
funny
his throat.
Yeah, that reminds me. I
it's-
heard him doing it could have been a recorded read. Either way, he sounded terrible.
It's almost
he
like
sounded worse than. Remember when Franceschi used to do live reads, and he did it like he was reading a.
Well, no,
but Boomer's voice sounds terrible. And the other thing, hang on, the thing that really struck me about it is the read was just not good.
No,
you would think after all these years, he would know where to put the emphasis, and he wouldn't put it on the wrong syllable or go up when his voice should go down at the end of a sentence, or how to
go down
how
or
to
go
speak
up
the name of the
when it's
product.
down.
Yeah, and I'm like, it wasn't horrendous. It wasn't like who was the
It wasn't
Giants
like Corbin
linebacker who used to they put him on with DiPietro and what's his name? Chris.
Yeah.
Like he couldn't do. He had no idea how to do a read. No inflection or anything. But I'm like, I would think Boomer, after 50 years in the business, it seems, would be able to do a read. Plus,
it's still
his voice
better
sounds terrible. And I'm just thinking, whoever's paying for that has got to be feeling ripped off.
I did a regional Ford commercial with Rodney Hampton once, and he couldn't say it took forever to get him to say Ford Expedition. He kept saying Expeditious, Ford Expeditious.
Yeah,
so it was.
Could stiff arm like a motherfucker though. He could probably headbutt. Expedition off
I was worried because I was trying to get him to say it. I was worried he was getting mad. He was going to stiff arm me because I was not accepting what he was saying.
Yeah, look, hey, the rest of the country doesn't give a shit, but New York is a big sports market, and speaking on behalf of the rest of the country, we don't fucking care.
No.
Here's the thing. I think it's all based. I think everybody listens to it on their phone. And look, the people we've seen this with ESPN, we've seen this with most of the sports media. It's not about knowledge or journalism or even having it. It's just about trying to say something outrageous to get a younger audience. It's why we've got fuckface on ESPN, the ex-punter for the Lions with a bunch of guys dressed in cowboy hats and
fuckface.
And then you got, ESPN don't get me started.
Ex-punter for the Colts.
Whatever. I don't fucking care.
Aaron Rodgers' best.
I listened to I listened to First Take and Tony Kornheiser. Nobody else interests me. I can't get through the bullshit.
Yeah.
You know who I like? They're young guys too. They're probably mid-30s. I like Talking Yanks. They get Aaron Boone on there, and they kind of hold them to a little bit to the fire, and they've got good takes, and they go in deep on something that's interesting.
Right.
These other guys, doing 3 hours of radio in the morning, it's the same thing over and over again.
It pretty much is. It is, but you get different takes on it. I mean,
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, and to a point, I do agree with you. But as far as the whole Craig Carton thing goes, they didn't want him to leave in the first place. He had a job.
I know.
He got the job with Fox, so he left. And then
he also had some legal troubles.
No. This is after Fox. This is. I'm saying the legal troubles were before. He was back on the Fan after the legal troubles.
Yeah.
He was the afternoon drive show with Evan and Carton when Francesa first left. They brought in what was it? I
don't know.
Actually, the second time he left, because he came back, there was a
who's Carton going to be with, just by himself?
No, it was which we call it, when Mike Francesa first left, they brought in Chris
Sims,
the big
Carlin,
guy?
Chris Carlin,
yeah,
and
Man Mountain,
Maggie what's her name?
Maggie Gyllenhaal
and
George Carlin. It was
George. It was George Carlin, right? No, and they
Maggie Smith, the old
Chris
British
and George
actress.
Carlin.
Anyway, and then Francesa wanted back, so they kicked them to the curb, and Francesa came back.
Yeah, he's the Jay Leno of the Fan for sure.
Right, and then when he finally retired for good, they gave the job to Evan Roberts and Craig Carton, and they were on until Carton left to go to Fox. But now his Fox show was canceled, so they wanted him back. So back he is.
Look, here's the deal. He's good.
Yeah. He is good. I see the clips.
Good. I like him
on the inner tubes all the time.
I don't know who he's going to be paired up with, but I like
Chris McMonagle.
Okay, it doesn't matter. It's because it's his show now. It's not an even kind of thing anymore.
Just somebody can talking points off of. That's all.
Right. Yeah, he's best when he's has an audience in the studio that he's bouncing stuff off of, and they're occasionally talking. But here's the thing: ESPN is clueless. They don't know what to do. All they do is move people around.
ESPN. Well, ESPN is.
I mean, not ESPN. The Fan.
The Fan.
All they do is move people around and then they pair different people up, and the ratings are good because it's new and people are interested. Or maybe there's a part of an audience that wasn't watching the old pairing with such and such.
I mean, look,
but they like somebody who's in the new pairing, so they watch. But then ratings start to go down because radio is dying.
Yeah, and it should be a podcast. It should be. You should be able to get it on Spotify.
Well, they are.
YouTube.
Yeah, they are. They're all of the. They're on the Odyssey app. They're on TuneIn. They're on a bunch of. We're on all of them too.
I don't want to have to get Odyssey. I don't want to have to get Stitcher and Speaker and Squeaker and just fucking put it on the ones that everybody uses.
Well, I mean, you can download the Odyssey app. It's a free app.
Yeah, I know. It bothers me. It's the same thing when I have to go through 27 stations to find a football game because it's on the fucking Hallmark channel this week.
Yeah, or it's on Paramount Plus Sports.
And they
remember that Baxter Burney is doing fucking sideline reporting
along with Maggie Smith,
Lilith Fair, or whatever her name was.
The Lilith Fair.
Show your age. I don't think Meredith Baxter Burney's working all that much anymore.
Yeah,
it's
definitely on the Hallmark channel. That's for sure.
Lacey Chabert, I think.
Every
movie on the Hallmark channel.
Yeah, she's probably 60 now.
Let me just ask you about this. I haven't watched it, but I'm assuming it's horrific. Kathy Baker as the reboot of Matlock.
I haven't watched it either.
Kathy Bates, you mean?
Kathy Bates, yeah. Sorry, not Baker.
I was trying to figure out who Kathy Baker was. You know what? I don't know. Kathy Bates is pretty good, but
she's great. I've actually heard it's pretty good. I've heard it's pretty good.
Really?
I'll have to watch it.
But I mean,
I don't know.
Again,
I feel like
I didn't even realize it was back on. I didn't realize that was a thing. And I'm watching TV, and and tonight a new Matlock. I'm like, what year is this?
Yeah,
I don't even know what happens on network television until I visit my parents.
Yeah.
And then I realize that Tom Selleck is a cop now in a show called Blue Bloods, and There's
it's been on like 10 years.
And then all of the shows on
For the last
television
13 years,
are
14 years.
yeah. Well, I don't know these things. I don't know these things. I don't sit at home and watch them. Let me ask you a question. Who watches network television at 8:00 on a Tuesday? Who the fuck's kids and old people, right?
Nobody.
Kids aren't even watching it. They're sticking them in front of YouTube.
I don't watch it 8:00 on a Tuesday. At 9:00 on a Wednesday, I do watch.
What's on? ER?
No, Chicago Fire.
The same thing. Yeah. There you go.
I feel
But
like
you're old.
watching Matlock, like the reboot of Matlock, is sort of one of those things like when you're young and you're like, I'm never going to get a minivan,
Right?
Because if I get a minivan, that means I'm old and I'm a grown up, and you know what I mean.
Right.
Even if I get married and have kids, no, I'm going to have I feel like if you watch Matlock, the reboot of Matlock, like I feel like I'm going to cross over into an even more elderly zone.
I'm not watching
life. And I don't know if I want to do that yet.
anything. I don't want to see Owen Wilson as Starsky or Hutch or whatever. I want the original shit. If I want to watch the original shit, I could watch it on my phone.
Yeah, you can.
On the bus.
And it ages really well. So make sure you turn the volume up loud.
Right. And while I understand what you're saying, and I agree with that, I think the main reason that they do that is so that they can get a new generation of.
They're not getting a new generation. They're the ones that are barely alive. They got to give them something to watch. All they know how to do is find the 6 stations that they watch on cable.
I think the idea behind it, whether it works or not, is
Kathy Bates is not going to bring.
I'm not talking about Matlock. I'm not talking about Matlock. I'm talking about like the Starsky and Hutch thing. You're a reboot of a movie. They get a new generation watching that, and then they dial back in and say, "Hey, you know what? Let's go back and watch the old one. Just see what it's like."
All right. Speaking of reboots,
well, that's 17 minutes we'll never get back. So let's.
I was talking about the fan. I was
just get on with it with the Mets, please.
you brought Kathy Bates up.
Well, I just like I said, whatever. Right. I saw the ad the other day, and I didn't know it was a thing until like 2 weeks ago myself. So.
Like I said, it was crazy. Anyway, so Craig Carton back January 5th, and Tommy Lugauer apparently, who's on the who's the producer of the Evan and Tiki show. He's going to get his own nighttime show. He's moving he's doing 6:30 to midnight or something like that.
That's where they put all the best talent on the overnight.
Right there. Well, it used to be the schmoozer used to be on that show.
Yeah, he does. He's been old for 50 years, but he's sound.
Yeah, and he comes back. He does a show every now and then. He's on like he'll do
like a couple weeks ago.
Joe Beningo is occasionally on too, like part time.
Yeah,
like from home. Like all these guys are doing it from home too. They just.
Of course they're doing it from the deli. Nobody knows who the fuck these people are except you two.
Pretty much.
Well,
they got us, Pete.
Listen, we are definitely the same demographic as far as our show.
Yes,
the callers that call into WFAN, and
So we're trying to get a diverse demographic, and we're not going to get that by talking about Joe Beningo.
I believe there's a Joe Beningo youth group.
There is, of course, there is.
Yeah,
kids. There's a Joe Beningo in every city.
Listen, bro.
Listen, bro. Let me tell you, bro.
I agree
100%. 100%, bro.
I can't drive into the city anymore. I can't do it. Yeah, I got to stay out. There's no parking.
I agree with you 100%.
I think
100%. 100%.
He just always his thing is the Jets. He just likes to rip on the Jets.
Well, speaking of a team that rhymes with Jets.
Yeah. Speaking of not coming back to New York.
All right. So yesterday, it'll be December 9th, Edwin Diaz signed with the fucking Los Angeles fucking Dodgers.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Now, here's my thing. He's one of the best closers in baseball.
He's the best closer in baseball.
I was going to say the best closer in baseball, but I'll give others the benefit of that. One of the best closers in baseball. And you let him walk over $3 fucking million over 3 years. Right.
Did they let him walk, or did he just want to go to the Dodgers?
That was going to be my question. Did he really want to stay?
I mean, how are we going to know unless somebody interviews him? But the word on the street is that he did want to stay in New York. I don't know how true it is. Who's going to know, right? But the bottom line is, Mets offered him 3 years, 66. He got 3 years, 69 from the Dodgers. Now, granted, I mean, if you were him and you could go out there and sit behind these amazing aces and Yamamoto and Otani and everybody else, and have to be used less than you're used to New York, make a little bit more money, and probably get another ring or two, or a ring or two. Yeah, well, for them,
what did I miss?
Yeah, right. It's a no-brainer, right? But if he wanted to stay in New York, here's the thing. Okay, you can't let him go to the Dodgers, all right? Because that was as much as keeping him for your closer as it was keeping him away from the team you're trying to beat to get to the World Series.
Look, I think what happened was the Mets made an offer. The Dodgers raised it by $3 million, and he went, okay.
Yeah, but the Mets had the last word.
Okay, well, that fair enough. They should have matched it.
Now,
went to $70 million or whatever.
Right. Yeah. Give him. Yeah, at that point, it's 3 fucking years. Give him. He's what? He's 32. 30. Give him 4 years. At if he starts to fade, you put him in his late relief, whatever. I don't know. In the 4th year, give him 4 years, the same money. Give him the 22 a year instead of 23, but make it for 4 years, whatever. Steve, we're talking about Steve Cohen here. All right. David Stearns is operating in his mind, I think, like he's still working in Milwaukee, a small market team with a low budget. This is the richest fucking owner in baseball.
Well, let me ask you a question. Is there obviously the Dodgers, it's a non-for-profit organization, right? I mean, those folks are, it's a game.
They just they signed him yesterday and laughed.
Are we seeing with the Yankees and Mets actual financial realities that are being put on their GMs?
No, there's no way that Steve Cohen is, unless he's worth $23 billion.
Okay, so having said that, they lose Diaz,
and then today
they lose Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso goes to the Baltimore Orioles. Now, while not the Dodgers, if he'd gone to the Dodgers, I was done. I'm not even watching the fucking.
They don't need him.
Yeah. But yeah, well, with Freddie Freeman, what are they going to do with him, right? But whatchamacallit? Whatever. But I cannot believe he became the all-time home run hitting Met.
Yeah, so here's my take.
This year, he's homegrown. He's hitting behind Juan Soto, and towards the end of the season, obviously that finally took, and they were a great 1-2 punch. And then you let him go? Come on, for 5 years? He didn't get 7. He didn't get 8. 5 years. He's 31.
31. Why was it always about his age? Look,
and he doesn't have to play first base for 5 years.
Hear me out, okay?
Mm-hmm.
32, 33, 34. We're seeing what guys are doing at those ages. Look at Aaron Judge, et cetera, et cetera. Alonso's a power hitter. He had a down year. Then last year he bounced back. All of his metrics improved, including his less strikeouts, his swing speed, his bat speed improved. He had a monster year. Mm-hmm. And you already paid him $30 million last year.
Right.
So why not pay him $24 million for 5 years? Or $25 million for 5 years. And if you get 3 years and he hits 100 more home runs and drives in 340 RBIs, isn't that worth it?
Yeah, it is worth it.
If you're trying to win something, it is.
And here's my take on Alonso, because last year when no one was fighting on him, I looked at it and I said, look, I get it. It's a lot of money, but you paying all of these other players a ton of money. Pete Alonso, you can say whatever you want about him. He has been very consistent in his production. He had one down year. He has the 3rd most home runs in baseball since 2019, and is behind Aaron Judge, who's one of the top 2 players in baseball, and Kyle Schwarber, who, let's face it, is as not as good a hitter as Pete Alonso overall, and has no ability to play the field. Nope. You could criticize Alonso's defense, his lack of running, his mobility. That's
his
fine.
Defense has gotten better.
It actually has, and he's not the worst. So, again, I think the Mets had already made up their mind that they weren't going to offer Pete Alonso anything more than 3 years. And here's what I think the Alonso thing does now for the Mets. If the Mets are actually still wanting I think it makes Cody Bellinger I think the Mets are going to overpay
There
for
is
Cody
no
Bellinger.
way in hell that the Mets are not going to throw a boatload of cash at Cody Bellinger.
Here's what's going to happen. It's going to fuck my Yankees. They're going to overpay Cody Bellinger and give him a 7-year contract. And they're gonna try to platoon him at first base and center field in New York or left field.
I know. Well, they could put him in left field.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he doesn't have to platoon. Nimmo's gone.
Yeah, well, I'm saying they kind of have a center fielder in Mullins, right?
Yep.
So they could either play him at first base or they could play him in left field. Look, that's the value of Cody Bellinger, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now what it's going to do is, this is my prediction. You're going to see Bellinger come off the blocks to the Mets. They're going to give him way too much. And then what it's going to do is it's going to make Kyle Tucker get above $400 million. And the Yankees are going to be stuck. I'm going to be stuck watching Jason fucking Dominguez playing left field again.
Do you think, and this just occurred to me, and I'm sure I'm wrong. At least I hope I'm wrong. But do you think that there's a possibility that in the back of Uncle fucking Steve's mind, he would rather make the Mets the most touted best team in New York, regardless of if in other words, damn it, let the Dodgers win the World Series every year. I don't care.
They're not the best team in New York, though.
I know that. I'm making a point. Like, he let Alonso walk, he let Diaz go, whatever. But he brings in Devin Williams and he brings over Cody Bellinger. So he's pulling people from the Yankees.
We know how that's gone before.
Well,
I mean, Clay Holmes wasn't a complete waste, but we didn't want him.
But my point is just pull everybody away from the Yankees, and to the point where I'm spitballing here. Obviously,
no. You are saying something that other people have expressed.
Like he just wants the Mets to be the best team in New York. It's more about the back page. Fuck the World Series. That's all it is.
That's weird, though, don't you think? Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird?
No, not when you're when the Mets are the redheaded stepchild forever and ever. Even despite the success. Look, I think you guys are wrong about Bellinger. I don't think he's coming to the Mets. I think what does the GM of the Mets do? What does he do? Well,
he plays with himself.
Well, no. What did he do?
I don't know about that.
What did he do well before he got to the Mets in his last stop?
He maximized value. He built good teams. Yeah,
and I think that's what Steve going. Wait, hear me out. Not forever, but for the next couple of years. Soto is a fixture. He's going to be the guy, and he's going to look to.
But you're wasting
that same
prime
sort
years
of thing to a point. Well, I think we're only talking 1 or 2. And then in a couple of years, that's the year when he's going to say, okay, now we're going to fill whatever remaining holes we have with some big names. I think he's not quite rebuilding, but I think he's taken a step back because look at, the Verlander and the Scherzer, that didn't work out. He spent money before. I agree about paying the hometown talent, but if you're going to pay Diaz and you're going to pay Pete and you're going to pay Soto, then you better be winning right now. And I think he's
the argument is
a different path, and he doesn't have the guy in the job, Stearns, who does that well. It's not his forte. So
I think what it does,
I think he's taken a little step back, and in a couple of years, that's when you're going to see some big free agent signings.
I look. Here's my take on it, and this is why I think the Mets are an interesting scenario.
I'm not saying it's
you just lost 2 of your best 4 players, and that's a compliment to the Mets in that they have 4 very good players, maybe more. But let's just talk. I mean, Diaz, Alonso, Lindor, Soto, right? Are we all in agreement that's their top 4 players or was?
Yeah.
So you have that. All right. Now you didn't win last year with that, but you want to at least hold on to that. Now, I think what they're maybe doing, I think Diaz was not there. I think they thought he would stay. I think Alonso, they were willing to let him go. I think that they're going to make a really hard run at one of these big free agents in the outfield. Do you think Kyle Tucker's not on the Mets radar?
Yeah, no. I know you're not wrong. It doesn't make any sense to me. What the either of them. I mean, it's not like they were looking for 7-8 year, $600 million
No,
contract.
but what it does is it takes what $50+ million a year that you can put towards other players. So let me ask you this, because this could happen. If the Mets wind up with Bregman and Tucker, are they a better team than if they kept Alonso and Diaz? I think they are. So I don't think I agree. I sort of agree with Pete in that I hope it's not true, but I think both of the New York teams have this magic number that they're trying to sort of compact down a little bit. I didn't think it would be with the Mets, but what they're doing sort of says that. Because if they were to follow the Yankees playbook, when the Yankees were always near the top and then had to go over it, as they kept who they needed to keep and they added. That's what the Dodgers are doing.
Yeah.
They kept who's there and they added. Oh, by the way, we just got arguably the best closer in baseball after winning a World Series without a closer.
Right. Oh, and here's the thing about the Yankees. Who's the comparable second player? If you're going to talk about,
They don't have it. The
Right.
Yankees are Judge and Bellinger, and then you go to their pitching staff. Okay,
Right.
so you got Fried and Cole. That's the Yankee four.
right. But my point is,
There's no
they
other.
don't have a Diaz
have
and an
it.
Alonso and a Lindor.
No. Which
Right.
is why losing
But they-
Alonso still leaves you with Lindor and Soto and
Right.
a good pitching staff and the money to get other people. If the Yankees lose Cody Bellinger, they are right back to what I've been talking about ad nauseum for the last 3.5
They're a one-trick
years.
pony. Yeah.
They are Aaron Judge on weak knees and a damaged elbow, and potentially 3 good starting pitchers who, let's face it, did not fare well in the playoffs last year. That's who the Yankees are. And I would think both New York teams would be going in hot and heavy. But if you listen to Cashman and you listen to Steinbrenner, I don't get that. I think it's going to be a very disappointing offseason for the New York Yankees. I think it's going to be more disappointing than the Mets, with the Mets already losing 2 players that they probably should have at least kept one of them. But I think I could see the Mets getting another 2 to 3 of the top 10 either free agents or available trade players out there by the time the season starts.
Well,
That's my take on it. Look, I think
they're going to wait. I think they're going to wait to go.
I think
for
the
big
Mets
names.
have a little bit more time. But look, Lindor's no spring chicken. Soto's good. He's young, but do I want Soto now or do I want Soto when he's 34?
Right.
Well, how old is he now?
27.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
they have more time.
And they got Lindor's under contract for how many more years?
5.
5. Yeah. So those guys are going to be there unless
I get
they
that.
want to move them.
But
And
now
so
the Mets,
I don't think
now
a
the
year,
Mets are closer to the Yankees, because now tell me
6.
who are the top 4 on the Mets.
They had him for a year and they gave him a 10-year extension, and his first year was 21.
Yeah.
So that was 11 years total. So he's got 6
But how
years.
old is Lindor?
31.
Yeah. It's a 31-year-old shortstop. So you wait 2 years, now you got a 33, 34-year-old shortstop, which
Well,
Lindor
yeah, but he's not like a big.
No, I get it, but that's when things, no matter who you are, unless you're Derek Jeter or, Barry Bonds, because you up the dosage, that's when you start to decline. It's the nature of the beast.
Right, but I'm saying you could be 80% of Francisco Lindor.
Right,
And
I get it.
You're still one of the best shortstops in the game, even if you're 35.
He just turned. Wait a minute. He just turned 32.
32.
A couple weeks ago.
So you got about 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a year of trying to find some gems, filling in, getting some value, and then maybe the next year they're going to plug in some holes and make a run at it.
I think they're going
I don't
after.
think it's going to be this. I don't think it's going to be this offseason, though.
I think they're going after a big name starter, and you know who that is. And I think it's going to be a trade.
Skubal.
And it might be for 1 year, and it might not be. And I think they're going. I think one of the top 3 in Tucker, Bichette, and I'm going to put Bregman in there. I think will be on the Mets, and maybe 2. I think they're going in this year. I think they're going in hard, and I think they realize that Devin Williams is kind of a safety net. They thought they were going to have Diaz. I think they had decided that this is our offer to Alonso. If he doesn't accept it, let him go. That's my take on it.
All right. Very good. Before we go any further, everybody say hi to Vanessa Kitty.
Hey, Vanessa. How are you tonight?
Hello, Vanessa.
Haven't talked to you since last night.
There you go.
How you doing today, Vanessa? Thanks for tuning in.
Our most loyal listener. Where's Scardino? Okay. What happened to that?
Scardino, I don't know. I was talking to him yesterday, though.
He was added to the overnight on the Fans.
He was. He's busy right now. Yeah. He did give me some.
He's discussing side 2 of Hemispheres and the glory days of Emmett Smith.
You're not
studio
wrong.
Producer.
You're not wrong, but he did give me some very interesting music news yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Taylor Swift. That came from Scardino. Next year, Triumph will be touring for 50th anniversary tour.
How can we stop? We're worse than the fan audience. Triumph's going to roll themselves out with defibrillators in a wheelchair.
Hey, I'm psyched. I want to go see the show.
Fight, you know what? The vocals are going to be more of an issue, I think, than the
Rick Emmett could still get up there, right?
Yeah,
but the drummer's like 79.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, was he really ever a fantastic drummer?
Gilmore?
I mean,
Gilmore was good.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't think
Gilmore was good.
Right. Once you can play forever.
Yeah,
we have exceeded the Triumph talk time.
All right,
there you go.
Should we move on to the National Football League and the College Football League?
I think
taking a call it, or is there anything else you wanted to do about baseball?
All I want to say is that I hope that you're both right. The only thing else I was going to put in there is one other thought that had occurred to me before now. I just want to we'll end on this one as far as that all goes with David Stearns. Is it also possible, and I hope this is not the case, but there's just another thought that I had. Is it also possible that, he needs what he does. He needs what he does to be his work, meaning he wants to bring up everybody that he signed, that he drafted, that he brought in. Pete Alonso was there already. Somebody like Lindor, obviously, you got to find somebody better than Francisco Lindor at shortstop. And he's, for all intents and purposes, the captain of the team, right? And Juan Soto, he signed him. But he didn't bring in Diaz. He didn't bring up Pete Alonso. He was there. Pete Alonso was in the system long before he was ever a GM out in Milwaukee. So it's not his product. He wants his product on the field.
I think they've got a plan. I think one of the chips from that plan maybe didn't go as planned, but they knew. They got Williams. Hopefully, he knows Williams very well, right? But he let him go. David Stearns is not afraid to let people go.
Listen, the Mets have a pretty checkered history or a long history of hanging on to people.
I agree.
Through injury and through periods of time where they just weren't producing. And then, of course, they let them go, and then they kind of catch on somewhere else, and maybe it's a toxic environment or whatever. What you say is interesting, John. I don't know. I mean, to me, that's more of an NFL thing, right? That's not my quarterback. That's not, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, listen, if he feels like he has to prove that what he's done in the past was not a fluke and that he can do it again, then yeah, maybe that's.
You know how you prove you're a good GM? You win a World Series.
Yeah, well.
And Edwin Diaz and Pete Alonso help you win a World Series.
Well, I'll tell you what, if the World Series next year is the Dodgers and the Orioles, there's going to be a lot of Met fans that are
not going to be the Orioles.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right. Our four gotta stay is baseball related. Should we do it now?
Oh yeah, let's do four gotta stay.
Four gotta stay.
Two must go.
Do we have a theme for it?
No, I'm working on it. I have a really great idea for a theme. The boy is coming home I think next week, so actually I'm going up to get one
is that what we're calling Jimmy now, the boy?
Jimmy's the boy.
Jimmy is kicked out because
Jimmy's gone. Well,
Jimmy's on holiday. Jimmy's on holiday right now.
Jimmy was renting a room while the boys were away at school, but they're back.
Jimmy's on smack. He ain't coming back.
So I set up a tent in the backyard, and
so he's over. He's bunking with Emerson Boozer for a while.
I sent
Yeah.
him over to Boozer's house.
The
yeah.
Boozer's house. There you go. All right. So before I got to say,
so far, our references have been Emerson Boozer, Kathy Bates, and the Canadian rock band Triumph. Not even Triumph, the comic insult dog. No.
for me to
Triumph.
poop on. All right.
But we also mentioned such
I think Meredith Baxter Burney was also
current
Yeah,
television.
that came out of your mouth too. So.
Such current television shows as Chicago PD or whatever it is with
Mhm.
Tom Selleck, which has only been on the air for 15 years. So.
Yes, there you go.
Multiple Emmy winner, I believe, though.
Yes,
Of
it is.
course. Yeah, we'll have a top 10 Blue Blood shows episodes.
Top 10
Hey,
Tom Selleck shows. That no one showed up.
Hey, there's a Wahlberg on that show too.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. Jennifer Wahlberg.
The good Wahlberg, I like to call him.
Donnie.
Donnie. Yeah.
God.
All
Yikes.
right. All right. So if we're gonna stay, here we go. Give me the
That's a great show title, The Good Wahlberg.
the good Wahlberg. give me the acapella before gotta stay theme.
I've been a bad, bad boy. I'm the good Wahlberg.
I'm the good Wahlberg.
Mama actually likes me.
All right. All right. Four gotta stay. Here we go. This week is it's four gotta stay. Worst trades or walks, trades or walkaways
Yeah.
in MLB history.
Oh wow.
This is the Mets edition.
Oh.
Mets edition. All right, Mets edition. So write these down. Remember, four got to stay.
So the the four worst have to stay.
The four worst
Yeah.
trades or
It's gonna be
walkaways.
hard.
Yes, here we go.
Well, I think we
Write
only
these
have to
down.
pick two.
Yeah.
We already know what two of them are.
Well, here we go.
Yeah,
Right,
you don't know
Yeah.
what he's got on his list.
write these down.
I think
write
I
these
know
down.
at least one, but go
All
ahead.
right.
All right,
Yeah.
Pete, write these down. Pete Alonso.
All right.
We'll get the obvious out of the way 1st.
Mhm.
Pete Alonso. Edwin Diaz.
Now we're going new.
No. Yeah, we got it. I want to see how they compare to these
All
others.
right.
Jose Reyes. Now think about what Reyes was at the time that they let him walk away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where did he go?
Really? Anyway, Lenny Dykstra.
Yeah.
Again, think about what he was when they traded him to Philly for Juan Samuel.
Yeah.
All right.
What he was a drug.
Think about what they got back for him. That's what I'm saying. Well, I mean, there's reasons for everything, but could he still ball? That's the question.
But man,
And they
he
have,
could
by the
play.
way,
his legal fees were
by the way,
insane.
more than half of that team was okay. So
Yeah, but he
was a
was
problem.
exceptionally weird.
He was a problem, is what he was.
Yeah.
But he could play.
he could play.
He could play.
I'm talking
He
about
just
the play, not the
That's right.
extracurricular.
He had
Right.
my favorite baseball player car wash of all time.
There you go. So Pete Alonso, Edwin Diaz, Jose Reyes, Lenny Dykstra, Tom Seaver,
Yeah. Okay.
and Nolan Ryan.
I knew Ryan was gonna be on this list.
Pete Alonso, Edwin Diaz, Jose Reyes, Lenny Dykstra, Tom Seaver, and Nolan Ryan.
So we want to keep the worst.
You want to keep the ones that you feel were the worst to trade or let go. So Pete, you go first. You start us.
Well, we'll put Reyes on that list because he was great and he was the heart of the team.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta put Diaz on that list because he's a great closer, and now again, we sort of know the terms or the would-be terms. So unless he just really wanted to go to the Dodgers, which would be understandable, it wasn't a whole lot of money that they would, or a whole lot of more money that they would have had to give him.
Right.
You have to say Ryan in retrospect because of who he turned out to be.
Right.
That was a case where the Mets didn't hang on to somebody,
Right.
and give themselves a chance to hang on to somebody for too long.
Mm-hmm. And your fourth.
Dykstra, I think you could take off.
Take off, Hoser.
Take off.
So it comes down to Tom Terrific or Polar Bear.
Yeah.
wonder if they're still gonna have the polar bear burger.
I like Alonso. I feel like he could just when and I don't think it's going to necessarily be soon, but like whatever his last year is, it's like he's going to just drop. He could just drop off a cliff,
Right.
you know. And I mean, Seaver was the franchise, so I will keep Seaver, and I will get rid of Dykstra and Polar Bear.
All right. Harry?
I mean, number one, Seaver. I think number two is probably Ryan, just in maybe retrospect. I think it's Reyes and Alonso. I think 10 years from now, you'll remember Diaz, but you're going to remember Alonso more. And I think Reyes, Seaver, and Ryan were more long-term mainstays with the Mets.
Mm-hmm.
And Dykstra was a Philly.
Okay. All right. So you both agree on Tom Seaver, Nolan Ryan, and Jose Reyes, with Harry leaning towards
Harry likes the bear over the
bear over sugar.
He's the all-time home run leader for the Mets.
Yeah. No, I agree. You know what? I would probably. I'm kind of right there with both of you. I can't. It's definitely Seaver and Ryan and Reyes, but I'm back and forth on Diaz or.
We all agree Dykstra definitely though, right?
Out.
Yeah. Dykstra, yeah. I was the only reason I put him in there was, I mean, at the time he was
beloved,
clearly better than Juan Samuel. Okay,
that's true.
And Harry, you can remember how pissed I was when that trade happened. So
I do remember that very much. Lenny Dykstra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
nailed.
Thank God social media wasn't around back then.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's very true.
Might not have been so painful if it was.
I just like how Ray Knight was the one who got called at 3 a.m. every morning to help straighten things out.
Or straighten things out, bail things out.
Yeah, bail. They had a fixer, a cleaner. Right. Yeah, there's bodies buried somewhere.
Right. Shit.
All right, so who's your fourth? You gonna say Alonso?
I'm back, and it's probably I probably got to lean towards Alonso. I do, but I mean if it's between the two of them, that's why this list that I made, with Reyes on there, it's hard because he's got to be on there. That was horse shit. The Wilpons letting him walk. I
remember seeing him play here with the Rockies. Am I wrong with that?
He played with the Rockies, and
only like half a year, maybe.
He went to Toronto.
Okay.
He went to the Marlins first.
Did I see him play with the Rockies?
He did play with the Rockies. He played with the Rockies before he came back to the Mets.
He went back to the Mets, right? He finished his career with the Mets.
Yeah.
He went to the Marlins, and then there was somebody else up the Blue Jays. Is that what you said?
Blue Jays. He played.
And then because that was the Tulowitzki trade, right?
The Troy Tulowitzki trade was.
And then after the Rockies, did he go somewhere before back to the Mets?
No, he went straight back to the Mets from the Rockies.
Okay.
So,
I think Reyes probably. Would you say that Reyes out of these guys got the worst treatment from the Mets?
100%.
Right.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah. That was It was odd.
He was so beloved. He was such a great shortstop. I mean, I can be honestly.
No, I'm going to disagree. I think it was Seaver. I think Seaver got the worst treatment.
Well, I'm talking about Reyes when they moved him from shortstop. They brought in the guy from Japan.
Yeah, no, I don't mean when he traded him. I mean, they did to him when he was on the team.
No, I mean when he was with the team. He definitely.
Yeah, they didn't know what they had. They didn't value what they had.
Yeah,
he could have been their Jeter. Yeah. He could have been their Jeter.
He was their Jeter.
He was Jeter.
He was their Jeter, and they let him and
with about.
No. I didn't say he was Jeter. I said he was their Jeter.
Yeah, no, he was their Jeter with a lot more speed.
Well,
Jeter wasn't bad.
No, but he was no Jose Reyes when it came to stealing bases.
His rings slowed him down.
Had to come out somewhere. All right. Let's move on. Let's do a little NFL. Let's do it.
Let's do some NFL. I'm tired of hearing about these system shortstops.
2 for 2 today is Carolina. On this crucial fourth down, Young, McMillan, got it! Touchdown, Panthers lead!
Now I know that wasn't from this past week, but it's busy in the old delivery game in the month of December. I didn't have a chance to make a new one for this past week. But
and by delivery, he means there's a lot of babies right now.
there's a lot of babies that I am dropping off at people's houses. I am a modern-day stork.
Stork. There you go.
I thought you were a midwife.
Well,
Radio Pete the Stork.
Pete's midwifery.
Radio Stork Pete.
Midwifery and same-day baby delivery service.
Midwifery.
It's a bit of a niche.
Midwifery
company,
and axle grease.
All right. What do we want to talk about in football?
Well, the Giants were off for a week. Some other teams were off for a week, but that's all I have to say about the Giants this week. So I want to bring something up, and there's a reason I'm wearing this tonight.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You're in love with the Texans.
Those of you just listening, I'm wearing Texans. I'm wearing 99. Anybody?
For those of you listening, John has on a Texans jersey with the nipples cut out.
99.
There's 6 shooters poking through a double 99.
Who?
And he's got a cowboy hat on.
Not a cowboy hat on.
I'm joking. I'm painting a picture for those who are.
And Spurs that jingle.
But we can't see those.
I got chaps on, but they're missing something in the back.
Yeah. Well, that's the best kind.
Yes.
All chaps are.
Absolutely. So, anyway, no. They were a slow start this year, but now that, and I do have to say, unfortunately, the Daniel Jones injury, clearly his broken leg that he was playing on and favoring the other foot, obviously led to that injury. But he's done for the year. So, and we'll get in a minute. I want to talk briefly about who his replacement is.
Yeah,
we'll talk about that.
Dan Fouts.
You know what? You're not far off. But
that's right. It wasn't Dan Fouts.
It was close enough. But whatchamacallit, I think it's all but locked up that the Texans will win. I just got to get past was it Liam Cohen and Trevor whatever his name is.
All right.
Who's the quarterback down in Jacksonville?
Trevor
Lawrence. Yeah, Trevor Lawrence. But I think they can do that. They're playing lights out football. They really are. I think they're doing really, really well. And
so are the Jaguars, though.
And the Jaguars are playing decent football, but I think the Texans are going to be right there. I think
Houston's
they're going to be
got a better defense. I don't know if
Houston's
they have
got a much
defense in the NFL.
They do.
It's pretty damn good. So
it's pretty damn good. I mean,
they are sort of a prototypical team, like back from our day, right? Great defense, and Stroud is coming back from a bad year and a bad start, right?
Yeah,
we came into the season going, he was great as a rookie, not so good last year. What's he going to do? He didn't look great, as he said early. But he's putting it together now.
Yeah. So I think now's the time. It's one of those stories where a team in the beginning of the season, they're like, oh, they're not playing well, they're not going anywhere. All of a sudden, here they are. They make a late push. Who would have thought during the 2007 or the 2011 season, even halfway through, even a little bit beyond halfway through, that the Giants would win the Super Bowl both years? So, but I hope
your eternal optimism.
Yeah. Well, yeah. No, external optimism, internal pessimism. Get that straight.
You and Don LaGreca.
Me and Don. Yeah.
I think they can win.
I call them up all the time just to wax nostalgic about the days of great Giants teams. But in any event, I would be remiss if I didn't say that I thought the AFC Championship this year is going to be Houston and New England. So. And none of us would have expected that at the beginning of the season, but that's my take.
Not two teams that we would have would cross too many people's lips there.
No, have at it. Thoughts, questions, comments, concerns.
Yeah, I mean, look, they're the team that everybody's talking about right now because they've had a couple really good games in a row and they're playing good football. And I think this year it's kind of a week to week power rankings, and you can't deny them and New England. If either of them play the Bills, depends on which Bills team shows up. It depends on, are the Broncos better than the Texans. They beat them. I don't know. It's
I think you could say, with the way the NFL is this year, we've talked about these games and what they mean, and they don't mean anything. None of them really mean anything, because we see a team that looks great and we think, oh, they're here, they've arrived, and then they stink it up the next week. And we look at the
that's what
vision.
I'm talking about.
Yeah, like you can't, like we could say, okay, well, look, Buffalo's playing New England, and again, Buffalo's a couple games back, but maybe the winner of that game is going to be, who's going to win the division. Not necessarily. We've talked about games that we think are going to mean something, and then over the next couple of weeks, we see that the results from those games that we looked at and we were making predictions based on that means nothing. So play good defense, keep it rolling. I put no stock in pretty much any results, that aren't obvious. We know the Rams are much better than the Arizona Cardinals, but we knew that going in, So, Detroit is better than Dallas. Dallas was hot, but they're not as good. So we learned general things like that, but I don't look at the outcome of any game and go, oh, that means that this team is going to win this or that team is going to win that. I mean, you might be absolutely right in your selection. You could be 100% wrong as well. So I put no stock in anything that happens in the NFL anymore, except for the obvious.
I got one question for you guys, though.
Go ahead.
Are the Chiefs done?
Yep.
Define done.
Are they not going to make the playoffs this year?
Probably not.
Yeah, they're not going to make playoffs this year. Yeah, and there's fans. I've heard. Obviously, I'm not in KC, but I've heard that there's a number of misguided fans, if you will, actually calling for Andy Reid to be fired.
Well, that's ridiculous.
But maybe they want.
Yeah,
I think they want Herm Edwards back.
Yeah, good luck with that. Look, it's a body of work, right?
Yep.
Everybody, like the final pronouncements that a lot of people are making now after, this past week, but it's not like, oh, they were looking pretty good, and then this game they went, no, that's it, forget it, I was wrong, they aren't looking pretty good. There's a whole season of them to this point, not looking good in many games. There's still a little bit of the magic left, though, but I think it's safe to say they are not the same team that has gone to the championship game 28 years in a row or won the division 29 years in a row or whatever those numbers are. So I tend to think they're not, also because they have two really good teams in their division ahead of them.
Yep.
But then again, I mean, and then you've got Jacksonville and Houston. Not much in the North, though. I mean, they could still, I guess, sneak in, but I think it's unlikely.
It's unlikely.
We'll see what. I do have a brief over/under though, football related, but so I tend to think they're not.
I don't think they're going. I don't think they'll be going to the.
I don't think they're. But I'm not going to sit here and go, oh yeah, they're done. I'm not that confident.
Well, they win this week and they're not out of it. I think it's a big game this week.
They lose one more game, they're done.
But don't you think it's more of a test this week for, the Chargers than it is? I mean, not the Chargers. The who are the Chiefs playing this week? Titans, right? No.
Who are they playing this week?
Well, that's a good question.
Or is it the Chargers? It is the Chargers.
It's the Chargers, yeah.
Yeah, sorry. I got that confused. Don't you think look, the Chargers coming off a big win. Don't you think this game's going to mean something to the Chargers? They're going into Kansas City. Kansas City's favored by 6 or 5.5 or something like that. So if Kansas City wins this game, gets back to 500, I think this game's more important for the Chargers in some ways.
It's more important. I think it's equally important to both of them, because it's definitely important to the Chargers to establish the dominance and do what the Texans did last week, right?
Right.
Go into Arrowhead and and beat them.
Chiefs
But
are, on FanDuel, Chiefs are minus 4.5 at home.
yeah, 4.5.
4.5 now. Okay.
But it's
Which
it's
is,
important.
I
the
think
Chiefs-
it's still too much.
Yeah.
But that's
would be-
based more on the Chargers, I think, falling down.
The
than
Chargers
state of-
has had a huge win. They're 9-4.
Right,
Well,
but
here's-
historically, I'm talking about historically. You look at
Oh,
the
okay.
trends of the
Well-
Chargers; they crap out in big
Right.
games and towards the end of the year.
Well, that's the other thing too. As far as the, I don't know what that is. As far as the Chiefs are concerned, in the AFC, 9 wins is not going to get them into the playoffs. So if they lose one more game, they're done. So if the Chargers win this week, and the Chiefs lose this game this week, they're done. They're done.
Yeah.
Um,
I won't believe it until somebody tells me time of death and follows it by a definitive out of playoffs.
Yeah, I think that's good strategy. Don't believe it until
well, I'll tell you right now,
you see it.
if the Chargers win this week and the Bills win this week, and either the Texans or the Colts win, and the Texans win this week. End of story. Right there and then, the Chiefs are out. Because the best they could do is 9-7, and the only team at that point that could finish the season at 9-7 would be the Texans, and they beat the head-to-head. They have the
So
title.
they could be mathematically.
They could be mathematically excluded from the playoffs with a loss this week, and a Bills win and a Texans win. That's it.
So you
Maybe
know
out.
what that means, right? Conspiracy theorists.
What's that?
That means they're going to win because the NFL wants them to be in the mix for a little bit longer.
Keep your eyes peeled for phantom penalties in this Chargers-Chiefs game.
Yeah. And again, it fits the narrative for the Chargers too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
They're
And I'm just,
great
and you know, it just
crap
dawned on me, like, I'm looking at the AFC West. All right. Sean Payton, Jim Harbaugh, Andy Reid, and Pete Carroll. Those are your 4 head coaches
pretty
in
nice
that
lineup.
division.
Yeah.
Well, though, even Harbaugh.
I just feel bad for Pete Carroll because he's got Geno Smith, but that's what he says at the point.
Well, I let me scroll back here a little bit to one of our Are They For Real's better season. Do you remember this?
Maybe.
I said, who's going to have a better season? And I guess we could wait till the end of the year to officially decide, but it was Sam Darnold, Bradford, or Geno Smith.
What did I
All
say?
right. You guys both said Geno Smith.
We
And I
did.
said my man Sam.
Huh?
I
Fair
don't know
enough.
what you're talking about.
Well, it doesn't matter anyway because Sam could shit the bed now. He still had a better season than.
That's what I'm
Geno
saying.
Smith.
Like, I don't. What would Geno have to do? Maybe if Sam broke his leg, but that wouldn't be bad statistically. You know, we're
Right.
looking at who's going to have a better season statistically in their team.
Right.
So I think Geno's already lost that one. But
Yep. Yeah.
So also a quick bit of housekeeping. You know, we also did NFL games over under until their next win.
Yep.
And we talked about the Jets, and then they won the next week. We talked about the Ravens, who were still at that time without
Lamar Jackson.
Jackson, and they won the next week. And we talked about the Dolphins at that point, and I think they won the next week. And we talked about the Titans. And the Titans over-under for the win was 5.5, 5.5, and that was going to be the Jaguars game that happened on November 30th.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, they did not win that game. They did win this past week. So you guys had taken the over on that. I had taken the under. So I wanted to say you guys were right about that one.
There you go.
So
whatchamacallit, and the Titans winning this past week. In doing so, presented the Giants with an early Christmas gift.
Oh, they get the number one.
The Giants, right now, as it stands, have the first pick in the draft next year.
And how does that
They'll
work?
fuck-
They
they'll
have more
fuck it
wins,
up.
though.
What's
I
that?
thought They'll fuck it up. I thought the worst team has.
The Giants and the Titans both are 2-11 right now, and the strength of schedule, the Giants, the Titans' strength of schedule is slightly higher than the.
So unless
than
the Giants
Giants.
win another game,
If the Giants don't win another game, they have the first pick in the draft.
and you're playing the Commanders this week,
Right.
so they're going to fuck it up.
They'll fuck it
If
up.
they don't fuck that up, then they'll fuck up the pick. Maybe.
Well, you know what? Does it really matter? Top pick in the draft. They don't need a quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Hmm.
They'll take another defensive lineman.
And there's about 8 quarterbacks. And
They're going to need a backup quarterback because this one doesn't know how to fucking get out of bounds.
They got a backup quarterback next year.
Yeah, they need a quarterback. If there's a good quarterback available, you take him.
Well, I mean, a good quarterback coming out of college or Jameis Winston backing him up for another year.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, do that.
It doesn't bode well. I'm more interested in who they're going to hire as a coach.
Yeah,
and quite honestly, I would think they need a new GM.
I do too.
I agree on both of those points.
There you go.
All right. Speaking of quarterbacks,
Yeah, Colts.
Tony Kornheiser said, I believe it was on his podcast. No, I think it was on PTI. He listed the quarterbacks that are 44 years old and have had like successful careers or won games or whatever it was. And I think he said the list is nobody. So, John, why don't you clue the audience in case they don't know who I'm talking
In
about.
case you do not know this information yet, Dan Fouts, Phillip Rivers came out of retirement, and he will be the starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts.
Well, he hasn't been named a starter, has he?
Well, he's on the team.
He's on the practice squad.
He
might not be the starter this week, but he probably will. Maybe
I
next.
think isn't their backup hurt?
Their backup is
Their backup's hurt, but they have another quarterback who they raised up.
I'm not
from
putting
the
him in
practice
over
squad.
Rivers. I don't think Rivers would come back and
I don't either.
sit around for a
I'm
week.
not maybe for 1 week.
Depends on
I
how
know.
good he starts throwing the ball. So
Yeah.
44 years old. So
totally gonna change up the game plan. That's for sure.
Well, are they?
Yeah, a
It's his
lot
system.
of quick passes, and listen, they have a great running back.
Well, he's
so
not. He's not as mobile as the other quarterbacks on the Colts. So obviously they have to account for that. So
he's not as mobile as a blocking sled on the Colts.
that's true.
When did he
He
retire?
was never mobile.
2 years ago.
2 years ago. That's it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No,
3
No,
years
it was
ago.
longer than that.
three
2020
years
maybe.
ago.
Yeah, I think.
No, after that.
No, because he was eligible for the next year for the Hall of Fame.
Let's find out.
I
Listen,
think it's been 4 years.
I think if you, I think so. If you needed a reason to continue to root for the Colts, whether you were a Daniel Jones fan or you just like to see
Yeah,
them-
you know what? You're right. You're right. 2020 was the last season.
2020, yeah.
so
He's been
5
out of
years.
the game for a bit.
Yeah.
Listen, I think this is great. I mean, I hope he doesn't get hurt. And who doesn't like Phillip Rivers other than opponents of the Colts and stuff? So, why not? Why not? Listen, if it keeps them in the mix, that'd be interesting.
It would be.
I heard that they were going to okay, so there's a lot of rumors going around. They're like, oh, they're just going to put him in on passing downs. Like, well, you can't really. Yes,
Yeah, NFL, every down's a passing down.
yeah, you have. Well, with him it is, but
Yeah.
like you
I know,
can't,
it's
tip,
gonna be
you
like a
can't
Texas
tip the
Tech-
defense off on that.
It's a handoff, but it gets screwed up or whatever, and then it turns into a passing down. So freeze, tag out. He comes in, takes the ball, go.
Yeah, everybody go. Yeah. All right. Well, listen. Let's do the quick over under here because it
Let's
involves
do that.
Phillip Rivers. So go for it.
Well, I've got no chance of losing this time.
All right, over under. JJ, Harry, me. The Colts are 8-5 right now, so I'm gonna ask you guys over under Colts victories with Phillip Rivers as the starter. Whether it happens this week or next week, or maybe he comes to his senses and says, "You know what? I changed my mind, guys." Let's see, 8-5 is 12. We have how many games this season? 17 now?
17, yeah.
So we got 5 games left, so I'm going to put the
Or
over
8-5 is 13.
8-5 is 13. Okay, it's 4, yeah. I got the first half of the math right, not the second. So 4 games left. Phillip Rivers as the starter. Victories, we're going 2.5, 2.5. Let's start with Harry. Under. John.
Under.
All right, I'll take the over as I usually do. All right, also very quickly, let's do the Titans and the Raiders. We each have 2 wins, and the Giants. Yeah, those are the 3. Titans, Raiders, Giants have 2 wins. Over under win total for the season 3.5.
All under. Is that possible? They don't play each
it
other,
is. None of them could win another game, yeah.
Well, they don't play each other, though.
Yeah, well, Giants do.
Giants play who? The Raiders?
Raiders.
So that would give the Raiders 3, or would that give them 4?
They all have 2 right now. So whoever
Giants
wins that,
aren't winning another game. At least they shouldn't.
So you're going to go Raiders over since they play each other?
Well, it would still be under 4.
No, what did I say?
3.5.
Oh, 3.5.
3.5. Yeah, so 3 is still under.
Oh,
they win one more game, it's still under.
I'm
going to go under on all of them.
All right. So that game, I suppose, could end in a tie, but no, but none of these teams are winning 2 more games. Yeah. That seems realistic. All right, you know what? Let's change it.
Hold on.
Let's change it to
want
2.5.
Yeah.
You want mine?
No, let me change it to 2.5. So you still going to go under?
2.5 total.
It can't be because
One of them's going to go over unless it's
one of them's
tie.
going to go over because the Giants play
Unless
the Raiders.
it's tie.
The Giants play the Giants. Next 4 games. Last 4 games are Commanders, Vikings, Raiders, Cowboys.
Yeah,
All right, so I guess you're going to have to kind of pick who's going to win that game as well.
Yeah. God, the Giants will probably win against the Raiders. They'll win against the Raiders and lose the first pick, and it'll probably be some spectacular fucking Hall of Fame offensive tackle.
That would be a way that they could screw up the first pick.
The Raiders are not as bad as the Giants, I don't think. Well,
They're pretty bad.
Yeah, they are.
And they have not gotten better. I think at least Harry and I remember saying, oh, the Raiders might be better this year. They might surprise you. They might start off slow, but
they should have been.
They should have been, but they were not. They have not gotten better.
No. So it's 2.5 now, over under on each of those teams. Well, we have to pick which team's going to win the Giants Raiders.
So either the Raiders are going over or the Giants are going over. Or
Unfortunately,
you think they're going to tie.
I think the Giants win that game and they fuck up their chance for the top draft pick.
So we'll put an O. John?
Well, I was going to be different on one of them from Harry, but now that you've changed it to 2.5, I'm not. So the Titans are under, the Raiders are under, the Giants are over.
All right.
Because the Giants are actually going to win another 2 games. They're going to finish the season 4-13.
Oh,
And
really?
Harry will be right again with how many wins. I think I said 5 this year, though.
You did.
So I'll be on.
There you go.
The Giants are going to beat the Raiders that game, and they're also going to win this weekend against the Commanders.
The only thing I'm really good at from year to year is picking how many wins the Giants are going to have.
Yeah, you gotta find a way to market that and make some money off of it. Because I'm sure that's at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
I'm sure, you know what I mean. That's a bet that you can put down.
Yeah.
Let me just look real quick. I want to look at.
All right. What else? We're gonna.
All right. I'm gonna say the Titans go over.
Over.
And, yeah, I think they're gonna win another game.
All right.
And I'll take the Raiders against the Giants. So Giants under, Raiders over.
All right.
And that is
The over-under.
For this football edition. Should we go to our picks?
Yeah, let's do it.
You do the picks? Yeah, do it.
All right, let's go.
Place your bets, please. Place your bets, please. Place your bets, please.
All right, we got 4 games, and as we usually do at this time.
How did last week wind up? I don't even check.
I
think I won all 4 games, but I missed the over and under on 2.
I'm going to show you in a second.
All right. There you go.
As we usually do, let's remind everybody of the rules. There we go.
There you go.
Thank you very much. And let's take a look.
It's my favorite part of the podcast.
All right, so let's go back to week 13 because we were supposed to be on last week. And at the end of week 13, we had John and the Coin tied for first.
Wow.
And with 95 points each, which bravo, by the way.
Yeah, Harry.
95 is pretty good. Harry and Pete fighting for third with yours truly.
Pete's
about
not
8
quite
points
as
ahead.
bad as me. Jesus.
What a difference. Well, as I thought to myself, Harry's not good, and I'm 8 points better than not good. So I'm certainly not crowing about that. What a difference a week makes. As John puts up a 6 and the Coin puts up a 7. And the Coin is now in first by 1 point.
Mm-hmm.
That Philly pick hurt you there, Johnny.
Yeah,
And Harry puts up a 10 and is now just 5 points back of yours truly.
Could have been 12. I mean, I think the Philly over-under by 1.
Yeah.
And the Detroit, there was another one that I missed by 1 point.
The Philly Clippers one was...
But hey, I picked all 4 games right.
Yeah, that's true. You got winners, and
that's not bad.
Houston covered, and Detroit covered, and Green Bay covered, and the Clippers won outright. So,
I want to. On that note, leave that up for a second. I want to just point this out. In one of my 3 fantasy teams, I cut back this year. I only had 3. You normally have 5.
Only 3.
Cut back on your fantasies.
Cut back on my fantasies. Yeah.
Don't be afraid of my fantasy.
So, in my one team, I had Hurts as my starting quarterback.
Mm.
All right.
Not a good week for that.
Now he normally, I'm going to pull this up really quick right here. Jalen Hurts normally gets his stats. I'll be brief about it. Like the first game of the season against the Cowboys, he had 24 points. Mm-hmm. And then he went down and had his lowest of the year. He had 11.5 points and 29, 20, 20, 20, he should be in 24, the
20s, at least in the 20s every week.
25. Game against Green Bay, he had only 12, but then 14, 30, almost 31 points, 16.5 points. You know how many points he had against the Chargers this past Monday?
4.
0.4. 0.4 of 1 point. That's how much he had. He sucked worse than a fucking Dyson this past week. Yeah, he had 2 turnovers on the same play.
Yeah, that was amazing. I saw that. That was crazy. Well, look, you're only a point back with 4 weeks to go.
Yeah, I know.
And Harry and I were out of it, but listen, it's close. Didn't the same thing happen a couple of years ago?
It did.
Yeah, it did. Harry came storming back at the end of the year.
Did. So. He did. He was like all self-deprecating, and it was the Texans' year too. Texans kept fucking him. Fucking him, and he won.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So that's where we are at right now. And our 4 games this week, we will do our picks for them. I don't have a graphic for it. Again, didn't have time. But first up, we'll start with Green Bay at the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are 2.5-point favorites at home. No, excuse me, underdogs, pardon me. They are plus 2.5 at home, and the over-under is 42.5. So let's start with Harry, since this is your Broncos team, baby.
Which game is this?
Green Bay at Denver.
Bay. What's the over-under?
42.5.
I'm going to go Green Bay and the over.
Green Bay and the over. All right, so Green Bay is going to win by a field goal at least, according to you. John?
I'm in lockstep. Green Bay's winning the game, handing Denver their first loss in 11 weeks. 12 weeks, actually.
12 weeks at the bye, yeah.
And they're definitely going to score more than 42.5 points.
All right. I'm going to take the Broncos and the over.
Mm-hmm.
And I forget what the coin is taking.
I have it right here.
Oh yeah.
Oh no, you didn't.
No, I don't think I don't think I did it yet because we just picked the game.
No, you didn't. You didn't.
All right. Let me do it right now or just do it and then post it?
You can do it and post it.
Yeah. All right, I'll do it and post it. All right. Next up is the AFC East leading New England Patriots hosting. Who are these guys? The Buffalo Bills. New England is a 1.5 point underdog at home, and the over/under is 49.5. So, John, let's start with you.
New England under.
New England and the under.
Mm-hmm.
Harry.
Buffalo in the over.
Buffalo and the over.
Do you really believe that, or are you just doing the opposite of what?
No, I really believe that. That's what I
Mhm.
have written down here.
Mhm.
I don't look at the over under. I guess it when I have the total score being 57 points on my guess sheet here.
All right.
Yeah, I just think Buffalo's. I don't know.
They're kind of due for a good game now, right?
Yeah, and the AFC East always splits, and New England's already beat Buffalo once, so
yeah.
I think
We
Josh
talked
Allen
about
has
how
another
their
good game.
schedules are lousy. I think New England's is a little bit worse than Buffalo, not by much though.
Yeah, Josh Allen looked great in that comeback against the Bengals. So
yeah, I'm going to take Buffalo and I'm going to go under. Take the under.
Mhm.
Next up is Detroit at the LA Raiders. No, LA Rams. Sorry.
Rams.
And Rams are 5.5 point favorites at home. The over under is 54.5. Which Detroit team is going to show up?
every time I bet Detroit in the under, it just they score the over by themselves.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the Rams and the over. I think there's just too much offense in this game, even though it's 54.5. That's that's less than 30 points per team. So I'm gonna take the Rams and the over. John.
Yeah, it's the Rams. Rams are going to win this game. Yeah. And what's the spread? 5.5.
5.5. Rams
Yeah.
minus 5.5.
Rams are winning. Yeah, I got to go over. I got to go. It's too much offense. Rams defense is great, but there's too much offense, and it's not like they both got to score 40 points. It's just
Yeah, that's what I mean. If they each
27 and 26 or whatever. Yeah.
right.
What's the over under 50?
54.5.
Yeah.
54.
So yeah, it's like a
27 to
28
is over.
gets you over. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to agree with you guys. I got Rams and over.
Mm.
Something about that over under that seems too obvious. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
We all like the Rams and the over.
So
And
Detroit
then,
will win. Detroit will win 13-3.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know. 5.5 is a lot, but
It is, but man,
You always say that
the Rams know
then
how
it's
to.
not.
Here's the difference with the Rams, minus the one game that they kind of shit the bed. They close pretty strong.
yeah. Detroit has a greater potential for crapping out.
Fucking up.
And you got the Mr. Go for it on fourth down.
And
Which,
Detroit's lost a couple key pieces on defense. I think
yeah.
Stafford's going to light them up.
All right. Finally, the Monday night game. Miami is in Pittsburgh, and they are
Pittsburgh is
underdogs.
like just we're barely there.
Yeah, Pittsburgh minus 3.5. So
I wish this was 2.5. But
yeah, that would make it easier.
Where's the game? In Miami?
In Pittsburgh. John, you're up first.
Pittsburgh's winning.
So
What's the
Pittsburgh
over?
minus 3.5, 42.5 is the over/under.
Under.
Pittsburgh under. All right, I will say. Aren't the Dolphins like 4-0 since they fired the GM or something like that?
yeah.
Yeah. All right. I fucking hate Miami so much. I'm gonna take Miami. I'll take what, a 42. This could be like a 6-3 game, or it could be a 31-28
Yep.
game. I'll take the over. I'll take Miami in the over.
Yeah, I'm going to take Pittsburgh in the over. I think this is like a 27-20 game.
All right. So yeah, I'll do the coins. I don't even flip. I use a number generator, so it's just
You know what? I'm gonna change. Hold on.
Oh, Johnny,
I was looking at something and I didn't find it before. And while you're going, I really believe that it has the potential to be like a 9-6 game. What's the weather
Which
like
one?
in Pittsburgh?
Dark and gray.
Dark and gray. I'm actually sure.
Fucking December in Pittsburgh. Not great. Weather forecast.
I'm sticking with it.
Forecast is lousy.
I'm sticking with it. Under. Yeah. Pittsburgh under.
Pittsburgh under for John.
To your point, I don't think it's supposed to snow. But yeah.
All right. So those are
I know
our
that's
picks.
I know that stadium. I've been there a bunch, and it can get pretty
Just like
damn
the
windy.
Bengals, just like it really
water.
kept the Bengals and Bills from not scoring any points in the snow.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Right. That didn't happen. That was a slog fest.
The difference there is that Aaron
points.
Rodgers is not running for 100 yards in the snow.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
Or in any conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of football, what else do we want? Let me just throw a couple things at you guys. Do you guys have anything else that you want to?
No.
The only other thing I had was just a quickie, but it's an opinion. It's not a trivia thing. But I really want to see.
Yeah.
I want our theme to come up at least once.
Oh, they're just a quick. All right. So,
just a quickie. Here we go.
Just a quickie. All right.
Today's it's NFL season opinions. All right. Just a quickie. Has this season had more parity in it than other seasons?
Yes.
Pete?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. We all lockstep agreement there.
And that was just a quickie.
Yeah, no.
Now, for
Why?
part 2 of 6.
Why? Why do you think? Is my question. And I'll just voice your opinion in a second, but here's my thing.
Yeah.
What is parity, right? Now, parity to me, all right, I'm looking at it this way this year. I don't think necessarily that the teams that are playing better this year, and when I mean the best teams in the league, I mean the teams that are playing better to create that parity, right? I think it's because of them. I think it's because the lower teams, the teams that are, losing a lot more games, there's fewer of them. And there's better football play overall. All right. And granted, that's easy to say, right? Obviously, there's parity, there's better football play overall. But I just think there's more of it this year than any. There's no clear cut, somebody running away with it. I mean, look at case in point, the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles literally sucked wind the other night in that game. And nobody on that team had a great game. Nobody on that team had a great game. And their opponents in the Super Bowl are probably not even making the playoffs. So yeah, it's a very odd year. Very odd year.
I will believe it when it's true.
There you go. All right. That's just that was my opinion. Just wanted thoughts, questions, comments, concern.
I will just point out, and this could be because of what you just said. There are exactly at this point, we are going into week 15.
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct? Yeah,
that's correct.
There are exactly 3 teams with double-digit wins in the NFL right now. That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, two of them which have the best records in football. I'm not convinced either of them are championship teams.
Well, you like the Rams, right?
Yeah, but the Broncos
Seahawks
and the Patriots,
and New England. Yeah, exactly.
And the Broncos. So there's 4.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Broncos.
So I mean, in the AFC, look, I watch the Broncos every week, and I kind of love this team, but they don't convince me that they're
The cream of the
a
crop.
championship team yet.
Right.
New England, when I watch them play the Giants, I think they're the 86 Bears on defense. And then I see them the next week and I'm like, they're winning, but they don't, and then, the Rams I thought were, and then they lose a game they never should have lost. If somebody told me the Buffalo Bills are still going to win the Super Bowl, I'd be like, okay, I get that. And if somebody told me the Houston Texans are going to win the Super Bowl, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
up until last week, somebody, it's a crapshoot.
Anything can happen, but it's hard to trust. It's harder to trust anybody.
Here's where I disagree with John. I think that the play on the field, especially tackling, is worse than it's ever been. I think that the other thing is that where there hasn't been parity is in the scheduling. I think that if you look, some teams have just had a lot of this just happens to happen, because there's all of a sudden they have a tough schedule, but then all of a sudden the 3 games that they thought were going to be cupcakes, that team is great this year. And there's been a lot of one score games. And if you look at it, Kansas City has lost those 1-score games this year, where last year they won all of them. And that's really the difference between this year and last year. If you were to tell me who is going to win the Super Bowl, and if I pick it this week and then next week and then the following week and then the week after that, they're all going to be different answers.
Different team every week,
yeah. And the games that I'm really looking at this week is that I think that Chargers-Chiefs game is interesting. I think the Green Bay Broncos game is a big teller because let me tell you something. The one team that not a lot of people are talking about, but they've proven to me that they're resilient and they can score when they have to, is Green Bay. So we'll see. I mean, if the cards fell and the matchups were right, if somebody said, hey, the NFC Championship game is Green Bay and the Rams, and the AFC Championship game is Houston and New England, or then I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. But I'm not putting money on any of those.
Right. No, you're right.
And we've got multiple surprises as far as going both ways, right?
But don't forget about Seattle. Don't forget about the 49ers.
Right.
The Buffalo Bills may still be the best. I don't know. We just don't know because there's been so many great teams do not lose the games that they should win. And every good team in the league has lost multiple games that they should have won.
Right. Yeah. Like you can lose one of those games.
Right.
But you shouldn't be losing more than one.
No.
Yeah. And we also have surprises. Like, would anyone think the Bears were going to be 9-4 at this point? No.
Yeah.
Conversely,
could the Bears? But if you were to ask me right now, do the Bears make the playoffs? And I had to make a pick, probably going to say no.
Yeah. But by the same token, or actually going in the opposite direction, it's pretty much a surprise that Detroit's got 5 losses, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, no one was expecting them to run the table, but so there's
they've become a very schizophrenic, unpredictable team.
Yeah. Well, it seems like everybody is schizophrenic and unpredictable. So, and then you have a team like, the Niners who are back, obviously.
What are the Niners?
They're right in it though,
I know.
But because they're not leading the division, they're not getting a lot of the press, and they had a lot of injuries. But yeah, they're back and
they were talking about on ESPN.
They're game back. They're one game.
They were talking about the Niners today on ESPN, and there was 4 people on the show, and 2 of them had the Niners potentially going to the Super Bowl, and the other 2 said they're not making the playoffs.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about. It's really interesting this year. It's hard.
That's crazy.
It's hard to pick.
2 for 2 today is Carolina. On this crucial 4th down, Young, McMillan, got it! Touchdown, Panthers lead!
Sorry, I just like that clip.
So does everybody in Carolina. They don't hear that.
Yeah, listen, that's... one other thing I wanted to mention, and I say this obviously sarcastically, but given what happened with the Browns this week, the end of that game.
How do you not have Shedeur Sanders in there for that?
Should Kevin Stefanski just be fired? Because he obviously does not like Shedeur Sanders. And okay, that's fine if you don't like Shedeur Sanders.
Shedeur Sanders had a hell of a game.
And he takes him out. And not only that, but why are you going for, we say this all the time, don't go for 2 unless you need to.
Yeah.
They had to go for 2 and had to get it because they went for 2 and didn't get it before that. So
I
why
can't believe
not?
I'm about to say this, but Shedeur Sanders is bringing a little bit of stability to the Browns.
Yeah.
And
I mean, it's just,
I don't know. The Browns I feel sorry for Cleveland fans because this has just been the most chaotic, turmoil-filled franchise in all of sports. It really has. There's been nobody. I mean, they have just been able to pick every crazy MFer on the planet to play for their team without fail.
Yeah.
And it's just been insane. It's just been insane.
Yeah, I thought that was just nuts. That was just nuts.
Yeah.
To first of all, to put the team in that situation by going for the 2 when you didn't have to, and then to take them off and to, you know, run whatever that Wildcat play. I don't know if it was broken down or if
it was just that looked like the Giants. Yeah.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Without a quarterback. Yeah.
And the only other thing I'll say is that I heard this, and I don't know what all the numbers that are used to decide this or to calculate this, but the Jets, New York Football Jets, are having, bless you.
Thank you.
And that should be part of when you say the Jets.
Exactly.
Someone should sneeze. Are having statistically one of the all-time great, like top 4 performances in a season from their special teams.
Mm-hmm.
Not from the team.
Yeah.
But whatever the metrics that they
get a lot of practice.
They sure do.
On the field a lot.
Punt returning, kick returning, whatever.
Between the Giants and the Jets, they should have the best. I mean, we obviously know where the Giants' special teams are.
Well, and Nick Folk, the kicker, has missed 1 kick this year. 1.
And the Giants kicker has missed the ball.
Yeah, that was yikes.
Did I send this to you guys?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I like it.
Yeah, that was pretty comical.
Yeah. Anyway.
So I thought that was interesting.
Right.
Something to be happy about. So
there you go. All right.
Moving on. Let's
moving on. A little NBA, perhaps. Or John, what did you have? Did you have other? Just a quickie and
I have just a quickie for NBA.
For NBA.
Go.
Oh, all right. So let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
We should make everything just a
NBA.
quickie just so we can look at her.
That's it.
All right.
Picks? Let's do just a quickie.
Come on.
All right, go ahead.
All right. In keeping with the theme of these NBA just a quickies, who is the New York City area all-time leading? Has the record for all-time blocks?
This is played for New York teams or on whoever. Got it.
The Knicks and Nets, is that New York?
Well,
teams?
yeah, right. Yeah, I don't consider Philly a New York area, so Knicks and Nets. Yeah, I'm just saying New York area.
Is there some weird big white stiff that played for the Nets that had blocks? I'm trying to think.
It couldn't be Sean Bradley.
Yeah.
I mean, he's more known for getting posterized by whoever it was. Like I forget who the guy was that. Yeah. But I'll say this about Sean Bradley: he went for the block. He didn't get out of the way.
That's true.
It can't be him though. It's not like. Is it a big name or is it like a name we might know, but not? You don't want to give any clues.
I mean, you'll probably know the name. Let's put it that way.
It's got to be Patrick Ewing. Yeah, I'm going Ewing.
It's Ewing.
Yeah,
it's Ewing.
Everything is Ewing.
If you notice a pattern here, the last 3 questions I asked, we're all Patrick Ewing.
You should just call this just a Ewing.
Just a Ewing.
Just a Ewing.
Patrick Ewing, 2,758 blocks.
I mean, please do not substitute the girl for Patrick Ewing on this.
You can take John Malkovich out.
I might take Jim Carrey out.
John,
If I can find Patrick Ewing tearing off his tearaway sweats, I might insert that instead. Do you have who's number 2 on the list?
I do. I got to find it.
Probably another Nick. I'm guessing it's Willis
Don't give
Reed?
us the name. Just tell us the team.
Well, Willis Reed might not have been. They might not have calculated that. A lot of his blocks. When did they start counting blocks?
Yeah, that's true. Hold on. Where the hell is it? I just had it in here.
Do you remember if it was a Nick or Net? Wasn't there like a Buffalo NBA team like for a couple of years at some point? Or does that not count? Maybe that ABA, maybe, yeah. Buffalo.
I mean, I don't think anybody else comes close to Ewing. I mean, what did Ewing have? Over 2,000 career blocks?
27, almost 3,000, 2,758.
Okay. So if I'm thinking on the Nets, maybe Buck Williams. Who was their center in the 80s, the big white guy? Mike Jaminski?
Here you go. For the Knicks, Patrick Ewing had 2,758 blocks. In second place for the Knicks, Mitchell Robinson, 633 blocks.
So I'm going to say somebody on the Nets had more.
Than 633 blocks, yeah.
So I'm gonna say either Buck Williams or, I mean, did Brooke Lopez have that many blocks with the Nets?
Brooke Lopez all-time blocks. Brooke Lopez is the Brooklyn Nets all-time blocks leader with 972.
All right. Wow.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would have to be Lopez.
That's amazing that Ewing had 3 times more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised that the other Knicks were so low, but yeah. Mitchell Robinson, God, he averages 3.5. He averages 2 blocks per minute. Then playing time.
Playing time, yeah. He's all over. If he played, how many he'd have if he played?
He played 7 years and has a total of 16 games.
Exactly.
What is real?
What is real? How do you define real? If you're talking about what you can feel, what you can smell, what you can taste and see, then real is simply electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Pretty sure none of that's real.
You're not real.
For real, for real, for real. Yeah.
What is real?
All right.
Did you mean to hit that then?
I had it set up to go. I was going to put the basketball background back, but we might as well do this because it's basketball related. So, all right. Are they for real? Calling this the 15s through 17s. These are teams in the NBA right now who have either 15, 16, or 17 wins going into tonight's action. So let's start with the 15s and 16s, I guess. The question here, are they for real, is who ends up with the highest spot in the division amongst these teams? Got that?
Of the 15s.
Yes. Yeah. So for instance, in the Eastern Conference, we have the Orlando Magic and the Toronto Raptors, both with 15 wins.
And the Celtics.
Excuse me, yes. So, who's going to end up with a higher spot when it's all said and done in the division?
In the conference or in the division?
In the division.
Division.
In the
Eastern Conference.
Sorry, in the Eastern
Conference.
Yeah, sorry, basketball conference.
But Boston's really surprising.
Yeah.
15-9, that's crazy. So Celtics, Magic, Raptors. Who ends up?
I'm gonna go of those 3. It's hard. I'm going to say Boston because they're surprising. They're just going to keep being surprising. So, of the three of them.
Yeah, they're well coached.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Boston and Orlando have both been pretty hot. Boston's beaten some teams they shouldn't have been. I'm going to say Boston.
Thinking the Celts are going to hang on. I mean, we still have a lot of basketball left to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Toronto.
All right.
All right, and we won't rank the other two. We'll just do. Now let's look at the 17-win teams. And actually, let me go to the Western Conference, where we're going to include the Spurs. They have 16 wins. So we've got the Rockets, the Spurs, and the Timberwolves at 15, and the Rockets and the Timberwolves at 15, Spurs at 16. Currently 4, 5, and 6 in the Western Conference. So amongst those teams, who is going to end up higher when it's all said and done?
The Rockets.
Harry says Houston.
I have to agree. Houston.
I don't know. I'm
Spurs are right there, I think, but
I think I'm going to take the Spurs. Rockets are really good, though. Really good. Oh, yeah. Did I mention the? Yeah. Okay. The Timberwolves.
Yeah.
All right. So now let's look at the 17s. We've got the Lakers and the Denver Nuggets in the West.
Yeah.
Let's start with you know what? I'll go first. I'm so tempted to say the Lakers, but
Just to piss Harry.
nah, they seem to have found something here, but I can't believe they're just not going to blow up or whatever. So yeah, you know what? I'll take the Lakers. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not? One more hurrah for LeBron.
Why not?
Harry, I assume you're taking the Nuggets.
No, not necessarily. Look, the Nuggets are off to their best start in franchise history. At 17-6.
Yeah.
And they're playing without two starters. Having said that, I don't know when they're going to be back. And this is the story of the Nuggets, is that they have better depth than they did last year. I think the Lakers are deeper. Now, could Luka get hurt? Could, Austin Reeves get hurt? Maybe. But I think it's going to be tough for the Nuggets to hang with the Lakers this year. I really do. I think at some point, the Nuggets might have a great year, but I just think the Lakers are that trade for Luka, whatever it was, and their ability to they're playing kind of small ball, and they're winning. They've won, I think, 8 out of the last 10. I don't know. As hot as the Nuggets have been, the Lakers have been hotter, and it means nothing because the elephant in the room is that we're looking at a team that no one and any of the sports anywhere is talking about that might just challenge the all-time NBA record. They're 23-1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about how the Dodgers have, are lining up to be better after a championship. I never thought Oklahoma City would come out of the gate and be 23-1.
I didn't either.
And they're 12-1 on the road. And they're holding opponents to 106.9 points a game, which in years past would not be impressive. But that is really, really good considering they play in the West. So, yeah, I think it's going to be hard for the Nuggets to hold the Rockets off. Obviously the Nuggets will make the playoffs, but I think the Lakers are for real. I think they're gonna be that 2 seed.
All right, John.
Lakers.
All right.
How about the 17s in the Eastern Conference?
17s in the Eastern Conference.
I'm going with the Knicks.
Gonna go with the Knicks? Yeah, we'll go.
I'm going with the Knicks.
All right. Yeah, I think.
Why don't you just group them together? The 17, 18, 19s.
Let me ask you this, guys. What are the Knicks' chances of being the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference?
Where I was going with that. Yeah, I think they can do it. I think it's possible.
Look, the Knicks are 17-7. I mean, that's got to be one of their best starts in the past 15, 20 years.
I mean, look, it's them or the Pistons, right?
No, I don't know.
I mean, there's going to be other teams, but
this is the Knicks' year. Everything you have a beaten up, depleted Boston Celtics team. You have a Pacers team, which is woeful.
Yep.
You have a Bulls team, which is underperforming. The Bucks are in shambles. Miami's
the Bucks are going to be without
the Sixers are
Giannis. He's going to get traded.
Yeah. So, this is the Knicks' year to lose it. Now, I think whoever they face in the West, I think the top 5 teams in the West are better than the Knicks. But this is their chance. This is their year. They got to do it.
I agree.
All right. That is it for Are They For Real?
For real.
Well, we also have a over-under NBA style. How about that?
Go for it.
Over-under?
Well, I've got no chance of losing this time.
All right. Over-under. This one is quick and easy, down and dirty. The Oklahoma City Thunder. Over-under wins 73.5.
That's a lot. What did they win last year?
Hang on, let me go back here. I don't think I have that exact number, but we did talk about at the end of last season, we talked about how many games they would win this season.
I think they won 68 games last year.
And they were not on that list. So I don't know. Well, look, 73 is the record. So are they going to break it, is basically what I'm asking.
If you asked me that a week ago, 2 weeks ago, I would say no. Right now, I'm going to say yes until I'm proven wrong. This is a resilient team that is playing great basketball.
I mean, I don't know if they'll go like 46-2, but they might go 46-3 or 46-4 and be past the halfway point. And still have, even if they have 4 losses, they can still lose 4 more over the final 30 whatever games it is, and they'll still.
They were 68-14 last year.
Yeah, 68 wins. That's what I said.
So 5 extra wins.
I mean,
so
it looks like it. Yeah.
77. What's it? 72.5.
73.5.
73.5.
Because the Warriors.
So you're saying are they going to be able to go 74-8?
Yeah, are they going to break that record? Harry, are you saying yes?
I'm saying yes.
I'm going to say yes too.
I'm going to be Pete this time and say no.
AJ says no. That's probably the safe bet. I mean, if Alexander gets hurt and misses 3 weeks or something,
yeah, of course,
it could be a completely different story. But
they're pretty resilient.
They are.
I mean, the one guy on that team that's injury prone is Holmgren, and he's been.
Mike Holmgren plays for the Thunder.
Yeah.
Wow.
His mustache is just incredible.
With great mustache comes great responsibility. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Look, let's put here's a point. Case in point. Right now, OKC's playing Phoenix, which is not a great team, but they're not a bad team. Yeah, they're a 14-10 team. That's plus on the year. They're 6-4 in their last 10 games. Oklahoma City is beating them 133-83 with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
They can do it. Phoenix can do it. I can feel it.
133-83.
They're leading by 50 points with 3 minutes to go.
I mean, all other teams, it would be kind of like, we'll take the night off. It's Phoenix. We'll squeak one out. No. They just came out and they're holding the Phoenix Suns to 83 points.
Unbelievable.
Yep. Anyway.
We lost Pete's audio.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. We'll see you next time. Check us out on all the platforms. Like, subscribe.
They're
Kiss your mother.
blowing teams
See you
out
next week.
They're blowing out teams with regularity.
You did know your audio was gone for a couple of
Yeah, I did. I realized it. No, I was just saying they're beating teams by 20 plus again and again and again. It's not like they're winning most of their games by 10 or 12, and then occasionally having a blowout. They're blowing everybody out. So. All right. Anything for
here? Let's just. I want to just. Here's. This is incredible. SGA had 28 points in 27 minutes. He's plus 43 for the night. Okay. And he's not playing right now, obviously. So that's his final stat line. Plus 43. Some teams aren't plus 43 for the year. Okay. Chet Holmgren played 25 minutes and scored 24 points and a plus 33.
Okay.
Dort was plus 38. He had 12 points in 22 minutes. Williams had 15 points in 23 minutes. And their bench, everybody on their team has played and scored at least 3 points tonight.
Amazing.
It's
pretty outstanding. Yeah.
Got a comment from Dave Scardino. Knicks are strong. You are right, Harry.
Yeah, the Knicks look good. And look, there's
Hi, Dave. Thanks for tuning in.
There's a lot of talk about Giannis going to the Knicks, right? You hear it. Do you do that? At this point with the team that you have, do you risk? If Giannis and Dame Lillard couldn't make it work, is Giannis and Brunson really better than what Brunson has around him right now? And don't get me wrong, Giannis individually is one of the top 5 players in the NBA.
Yeah.
But where does he go where he immediately makes a team better? He'd probably go to the Dodgers as a DH.
Well, you said that last week.
I think.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear some story about Giannis's brother is on the team, right? We already know that. The other Antetokounmpo. And like maybe there's another brother who's
another one who's on the practice squad or something.
Yeah, on the practice squad. So to me, that's just that's ridiculous. Are we gonna find out by the end of his career that Giannis is just kind of a poison, as great a player as he is?
I don't think he's a poison, but
they won a championship, right? But they haven't done anything since. And he's got. That's not quite as bad as. Well, I don't know what's worse: him putting his brother on the team, or LeBron putting Bronny on the team.
LeBron putting Bronny on the team.
Right. Probably.
But
LeBron is one of the all-time great players. Giannis is not yet. And if he wasn't in Milwaukee, would how many other teams would put up with that? There's obviously a lot of bottom-feeding teams that would love to have Giannis, and he could have his whole family as the starting 5.
Clearly.
But LeBron,
the Milwaukee Antetokounmpos.
Yeah, I don't think anybody has earned the right to put their son on the team unless he deserves to be there. But LeBron is a lot closer to where somebody you could say, well, he can get away with it because he's fucking LeBron James, as opposed to Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Well, so let's look at that for a second. Giannis has always been the guy I want to stay in Milwaukee. I want to be the guy there. I would not be surprised if Giannis went to the Lakers.
I wouldn't be surprised if he went anywhere where he thinks he can win.
But is that really his number one
I don't
priority?
know if he's a great player. I don't know if he's a good guy. And if you're the Knicks and you're having success, maybe you don't want to bring in a bad guy.
Look, we've seen this with a lot of great players. When Kawhi was at his peak and he won it with Toronto, and then he went to the Clippers and he tried to surround him with a bunch of players. Giannis won one, and then they tried to, surround him with other players. He's stuck on one. You see this a lot in the NBA because it's really hard to get that second ring, let alone a third or fourth.
Yeah.
Golden State had a deeper core that they were able to sort of build around and augment. And I think those days are gone for them right now. I also could see him going to Golden State. Imagine Giannis. The two teams that need a front court player to make them a championship team, to me, are the Lakers and the Warriors. They're small. They don't have that dominant big man. And while the Lakers would probably have to give up somebody like Austin Reeves or something compensation-wise, maybe Golden State has what it takes to get rid of some guys and and plug him in there. I mean,
Yeah.
who do you want to go play with? You, Luka and LeBron, and be arguably the third wheel? Or do you want to be the next KD and go team up with Steph? Steph's got 2 years left where he's going to be rocking and rolling. Giannis doesn't, who knows how many more years he's got in him. Do you become that guy, or do you stick it out and become the face of a franchise forever?
Well, obviously he's not going to stick it out because he wants to be.
You never know. It's not definitive that that they're going to trade him. It's not definitive.
You're right.
Yeah, that's true.
And the Knicks are 17-7. That's the number one rumor. That would be a great. Yeah, if you want to go somewhere, I could sort of see Giannis playing on the Knicks. His style, he's a physical player. The Knicks in the past
would be a trade. Most likely, Cat would be gone.
Cat would be gone. What he gives them is better defense and better sort of post scoring and an athleticism that they don't necessarily have. However, you can't tell me Cat has not played well. He's not. Look, the Knicks are not the defensive stalwart that they were 2 or 3 years ago. And their 2 best players are not great defensive players.
Right.
So are they better with Giannis? I don't know. That's a big risk sitting at 17-7 right now in the middle of the season to
break
go out
up that. Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's going to happen either. I don't think it would. I don't think Giannis is going to go anywhere. I think he's going to stay in Milwaukee. I do. That's my point. That's my opinion.
Listen, the good news if he does go to the Knicks is you're probably going to get another Antetokounmpo
or 3
or 12
or 2 or 3.
There's a lot of Greek delis there. They can.
Yeah, New York City's a great place for them to.
Exactly.
All right. Anything else for basketball?
I'm good.
No.
Anything else for hockey? Or anything for hockey in there?
No, it's still too early in the season.
Yeah, look.
Avalanche are up to a great start.
Yeah, they are. 49 points. Yeah. And nobody else in the West is, Dallas.
The Ducks are a good team. There's a lot
the Ducks are already 10 points back.
Yeah.
Which is not insurmountable or anything.
A couple weeks ago, they were ahead of the Avalanche by a point. So
yeah.
This might be a year for the Avalanche again to get back and win another one. They're looking good. They're deep, and McKinnon's on track to be the MVP of the league, or whatever the
award
trophy is for that. Yeah, Conn Smythe.
Don't sleep on the Mammoth though, because they're
they might wake up and they might roll over and crush.
Roll off.
Yeah, you never sleep on a Mammoth.
Never sleep on a Mammoth.
You kindly ask if you could sleep next to them.
Next to the Mammoth.
Yeah. Next to them.
Please cuddle me. Please, Mr. Mammoth, will you cuddle me tonight? It's cold.
All right. So I think that's it.
I do have one ending thing, and it's baseball again. Do you have something on basketball?
No, I said one. You said you have one thing.
Yeah, I do.
I was just pointing up your one thing.
Okay. Jeff Kent gets into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yeah.
Don Mattingly does not.
Yep.
Carlos Delgado does not, and I think the verdict is out that maybe the 2 best players of an entire generation are never going to get in the Hall of Fame. And look, Gary Sheffield, another one.
Yep.
But I think Jeff Kent is deserving of the Hall of Fame. But this Hall of Fame requirement, that longevity it gets more credit than peak years and MVPs and being, look, Dale Murphy, another one, and Don Mattingly, you could argue, were the 2 best players in baseball for a 7 or 8 year span where they overlapped, right? And as a Yankee fan, I've always been a little critical of Mattingly. I still, if you talk to Yankee fans, Mattingly is up here. If you talk to the rest of baseball, Mattingly's down here. I put him somewhere in the middle, and I do think he's a bubble candidate. But if Jeff Kent is in, Don Mattingly, Dale Murphy, Carlos Delgado, and Gary Sheffield all deserve to be in. I'm leaving out the steroid argument because I think Roger Clemens is one of the top 5 pitchers of all time. But with that said, those other guys deserve to be in. And Sheffield was tinged with the steroid thing, but if you really read his story about it, I don't necessarily, I believe him. I don't think it was as pervasive as it was for someone like Bonds or A-Rod or anybody else. Right. And look, there's other guys that are in that had more supposed connections to steroids. Big Papi.
Mm-hmm.
So is that going to change at any time? But what I want to focus on is specifically Dale Murphy and Don Mattingly.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't need to look at stats, I know that both of those guys are Hall of Famers. When you can say the second best first baseman in the history of the New York Yankees is Don Mattingly, and it's not close, then okay, he's only being beaten out by Lou Gehrig. He deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And I hope he does get in someday.
Yeah, that's I remember years ago I worked at Sports Phone very briefly, back when, speaking of old references. And there's a guy there named Gordon Damer who's what was that?
That's what you called it, a sports phone?
Yeah,
Sports phone.
Yeah,
it was Sports Phone. Hello.
Yeah, that's how I got my start. I was quickly fired.
This is Pete. You're on the Sports Phone. What do we want to talk about?
This is Pete, and I'm not wearing pants. Yeah,
you're listening to smooth sounds of Sports Phone.
So there was a guy there named Gordon Damer. Gordon Damer, who's had some phone, if you know what I mean. And he said, Hall of Famers, you just know.
Yeah,
if you're knowledgeable about sports, you just know. And I agree with you. I don't think that people look, if a guy has 5 or 6 or whatever great years, and then it turns out he's a degenerate gambler or something like that. Well, that's a different situation. But when a guy gets crippled and his career gets shortened, I don't mean by injuries. Yeah, you really kind of have to look at the whole longevity argument a little bit differently with players like that. Koufax is another example and stuff like that. So I agree with you there. As far as the steroids go, Roger Clemens was great before steroids, but he was great for longer, I think, in part because of them. And look, A-Rod's going to have to deal with this. Bonds, whatever, that guy was
Yeah, I think with Bonds and A-Rod, you could noticeably see that they were using it to get bigger and stronger. Clemens used it to help, and not saying it's right, but Clemens, Pettit, and some of these other, they used it to get over injuries quicker.
Right, to get back. Yeah.
And it's in some cases, I do believe they didn't necessarily know what they were using. Because I believe Pettit to some degree.
Right.
And Pettit and Clemens were best buds and they were getting their stuff from the same person. I think A-Rod and Bonds were, and a lot of those
knew
other
exactly
guys,
what they were doing.
They knew
were
exactly
doing it for
what they're
a specific
doing.
Purpose.
I
agree.
I'm not so sure with Clemens. I'm just not.
I would put him on that same list, but regardless, I guess if the good thing about it is that, and look, who knows what guys are taking right now, right? Supposedly there's better masking agents and some players are doing it. I don't know if anybody really believes it's anywhere near as rampant as it was, in that time and all that.
No, they've just come up with other things that are not steroidal, which are legal.
Right. But I think that if the message is sent for those players as great as they were, again, both of them, Bonds and Clemens, before as well as after the steroids, right? If the message is sent, don't do it, because if we catch you, that's it. You're not gonna. Doesn't matter how great you are, you're not getting the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of the silver lining. And I think they've only got a couple of years of eligibility on the.
One more shot, right?
One more, actually, if they don't get 5 votes, then that's it.
They got to have 5% of the vote to stand.
But they've only got a couple more years on the, what do they call it?
I think it's one more vote.
Not the seniors committee or whatever it is, but special
Look,
the
in
guys
the
who
Hall
didn't
of-
get in through the first 7 years or after their eligibility or whatever.
The Hall of Fame should be about celebrating baseball. And this idea that you don't want to weaken it by letting people that are not deserving in. Jeff Kent has the most home runs by a second baseman. Okay,
And that's
Robinson
why
Cano.
that's why he's
Robinson Cano is probably second or third on that list of most home runs by a second baseman. I argue too that he was probably the best second baseman ever played for the Yankees. But again, okay, so he has. What are we really looking at? Again, I think it's just if you know, you know. And I'm not taking anything away from Jeff Kent because he's one of those guys who was great for a long time and he's kind of a fans player that you would know. But if you take just everyday sports fans who were around at the time when all three of those guys were playing, Don Mattingly and Dale Murphy are much bigger names, and they're going to jump out as people agreeing they should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Over, Jeff Kent.
If Jeff Kent was not the all-time second baseman home run leader, he would probably still get in. But I don't think it would be because he does have.
Yeah, if you told me he was
and
third, it wouldn't change my mind. I do.
Right, he had a good career, but he might not get in right away.
I'm not saying any of them should have gotten in right away.
Right, but it would have been more of a debate with Kent if he wasn't the all-time second baseman.
But Murphy and Mattingly get dinged a little bit because they had great years in an 8-9 year period, and then because they played longer, Mattingly with injuries, Murphy kind of diminished. Also, I think some injuries. I don't remember all of it. That kind of hurts them.
Right.
It's the Thurman Munson story. Thurman Munson's a Hall of Famer. Go fuck yourself. Thurman Munson's a Hall of Famer. He died in a fucking plane crash. End of story.
Right. He didn't have the opportunity to get old and his numbers go down a little bit, or to be injured, I should say, and have his numbers go down a little bit.
Even if Thurman Munson played 5 more years and was 25% less productive than what he was, he's a Hall of Famer.
He would still be in. Yeah.
Use some common sense, people. Use some common sense.
Or look, if you're, I guess I wouldn't have an issue with this. If the Hall of Fame wants to build a wing for the steroid guys,
it's going to be way bigger than the Hall of Fame.
It's going to be bigger than the rest of the building.
And it's going to be bigger on top of the giant head, a big skylight that's bloated and goes in and out.
But, I using that as an educational experience, these are great players. I don't think it's worth doing, but if they wanted to do that, at least I could say, okay, you want to put those guys in the Hall of Fame, but let's let everybody know that they were steroid users, and that's why they're not in with the rest of the guys. I'd be okay with that.
I mean, I think that the steroid use in players like Clemens and A-Rod and Bonds and McGuire and Sosa and I think McGuire and Sosa had careers and what got into the history books because of steroids. I think Bonds became a much different player because of steroids. I think Alex Rodriguez, Roger Clemens, and a lot of these other guys did not need them, and they were dumb, and it ruined their legacy. And that's, to me, that's the most unfortunate part of it.
Yep.
Well, but I think I don't know about Sosa maybe, but I think McGuire and I think Bonds were already headed for the Hall of Fame even without steroids. And I think Clemens was too.
But Mark McGuire's name would not have come up if he hadn't been in the home run. Without steroids, he's not breaking the all-time home run record.
Probably not. But it's not like he's not. But he wasn't a guy who hit 15 home runs and then all of a sudden he hit almost 50 I think as a rookie, and
none of them were. But when you go from 35 to 70,
right? Or who was the was it like who was the guy? I think he was on. Was he on the Rockies or on Arizona or some outfielder who did that, hit 8 home runs a year and then he hit 40. There was a couple guys like that, but
I think his name was Christian Yelich.
No.
Yeah.
Brady Anderson, was that the guy on the Orioles who?
Yeah, there you go.
Right, he blew up, and then there was another outfielder, maybe on the Padres or somewhere out west.
But people
those
don't
guys were
realize,
really
look,
obvious. But
for
they
those
weren't
of
Hall
you
of
who
Famers before.
never got to watch Barry Bonds play, and look, I was not a Barry Bonds fan, but what I realized is that this guy was such a dangerous hitter that the best pitchers in baseball would just not pitch to him.
Yeah.
We talk about Ohtani. No, this was every game in April. We're not pitching to you. Take your base. We're not pitching to you. It's insane.
Which especially if you think, even before all the steroid stuff started, he was one of the top base stealers.
I think Bonds was a better player overall. But Bonds' career could be kind of correlated with Reggie Jackson. Now, Jackson wasn't a steroid guy, and his body didn't change that much, but he was this really athletic, base stealing, all around kind of skill set player with the A's. And then he came, at the end of the A's into his Yankee years, he became bigger and he became much more of a power guy, both in the outfield and his play. Still, one of the best arms in baseball. He was a better defensive outfielder than people give him credit for. Juan Soto wishes he was as good. And, his power numbers went up a little bit, but not a lot. So
anyway, all right.
Anyway, yeah, we'll return to baseball.
Hall of Fame.
And to get back to the to throw it back to the Knicks really quick, Dave Scardino had commented, "I like the Knicks team as is, including a solid head coach." That's what he said. So
yeah, the Knicks are one of the top teams in the East, and you gotta admit the change at coaching was the right choice.
Yeah, it was. Cool. All right.
Yeah. Last thing I'll say, screw Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Although
Alabama does not belong to be in there.
Yeah. Let me say this. I hate Notre Dame and I hate Alabama, but I hate Notre Dame less because a good friend of my son's goes to Notre Dame. So that's the only reason I hate them.
Based on nothing more than personal.
Yeah, as usual. I know they won 10 in a row, but you know what? Get in a conference. And on top of that, I'll just also say college football is pretty much done. They're so corrupt. They're just the whole selection thing. They never should have gone more than 8 teams, and now you've got this bullshit. And
we got Indiana though.
Yeah,
and as we all know, there's no better defense than an IUD.
You're right.
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much.
But
I was waiting for that all night.
So yeah, I don't know. I guess I'd rather see Notre Dame in, but play better teams and get in the conference. Stop being independent.
Yeah, it's look. I mean, it's going to be a good playoff. So I think
it's going to be interesting.
I hope it's entertaining. I'll watch some.
I'm on the Indiana.
I would love to see Indiana win. Anybody but Ohio State and one of the 3 Southern SEC schools that win it every other year.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
don't count them out.
Don't
count them out.
Okay. I think anybody else got anything else?
I'm good.
We'll save speed skating till next time.
Yeah. We'll do swimming and archery.
We'll open with archery next time. Absolutely.
Open archery.
All right.
I got to find out the kid's name that's in the opening clip.
Yeah.
Anyway, so probably back in 2 weeks. We'll be
maybe
what's today, the 10th. So
2 weeks would be Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve. I don't know if that's happening.
I had a thought. We'll talk about it after we sign on.
All right. We'll just come on, sing a couple of carols, and sign off.
I don't want to get anybody excited of a possible thing that,
Yeah. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you all for watching. For those of you listening to the audio podcast, a passel of thanks for listening. You're all really swell. Like and follow us on all our social media. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Just search for the Get On With It podcast. All of our shows are available on YouTube at the Lager Room channel. Just click the live tab to reach the show archive. The video podcast is live on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook every other Wednesday, starting sometime between 7 and 8 p.m. Eastern Time. You can find the audio podcasts on our host, Spreaker, as well as your favorite audio platform. If you haven't already, quit your dilly-dallying and subscribe so you will never miss a show. Thanks again for joining us. Have a great rest of your week and watch lots of sports. For the boys, this is Harry Hansen saying see you in a fortnight.